Ah, jump scare for YouTube. The stream is real. I'm actually streaming today. I know. Yesterday, hello, by the way, Druid Face. This was requested last stream. Yesterday, I had a minor medical issue. I had a really bad toothache, and it just suddenly happened just before stream after I nudged it with a sweep. So I thought maybe it was a good idea not to stream that day where I'd have to be sitting here talking for several hours. I thought that might be a bad idea, so I didn't. So I postponed it to today, but then I had to delay it a little bit in the day. However, we're here.
You're not streaming to Discord, by the way.
Oh yeah, that's easy to fix. Thank you for reminding me.
Hello there. Are we still in the pre-stream?
No, we are in the actual stream. The audience in Discord is smaller today because Quattro is doing his event, but they'll probably be joining soon. Yes, this is the pre-post stream or the post-pre stream. Yes, hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about Bubba.
Who's Bubba?
Yakub, I assume you know who Bubba is. I mean, I assume that you've probably met him.
Oh, Big Bubba?
You've probably done the very things of which a certain other person has been accused. So we'll look into that today. However, well, you'll have to watch to find out. However, we shall do that later. We shall get into some other stuff first. Firstly, there's this. North Korea threatened to nuke Tel Aviv if Israel kills Greta Thunberg. To which the respondent says, no, it's fine. I didn't expect it to be North Korea. All these years, I didn't understand his game. And now he said this, and I have to say, there is no single action that would destroy more pedophiles. As far as I have been informed, perhaps wrongly, but we'll see.
Who would have guessed that North Korea would have been the one to save us all?
I know, right?
I don't know. Is he just simping, though?
I mean, that's what I was thinking. He wants a future wife there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he like JF thinks that if she looks young, she must be a retard, so she'd be easy for him to control.
Another thing I want to point out about North Korea is one of the most environmentally conscious countries in the whole entire world.
Yeah, because they don't have any electricity.
No lights, no electricity usage. Like, I'm just saying, like, Kim Jong-un does more to save the environment than pretty much any other world leader in the world.
Well, there is a bit of a trade-off there, because their country only exists due to China keeping it afloat. And not for good reasons either. Either way, thank you, Kim Jong-un, for this threat. This will be very useful. Speaking of threats, actually, we need to talk about something that happened last stream. A certain new character in the, shall we say, Cabal Pantheon, or the Cabal Sphere of Awareness. We'll get to that soon. Next up, there's this. This is a topic we're going to be covering today, the Trump versus Marjorie Taylor Greene, and to a lesser extent Thomas Massie, both of whom have... They've done mostly things I approve of. They've been somewhat smaller figures in the MAGA movement. Massie has been mostly against what MAGA has wanted to do, or most notably against it, seemingly because of libertarian principles. There's been a few times I disagree with him, but generally speaking, he's been principled, as has MTG, though she's been very much MAGA. She has broken with Trump on certain pro-Israel things. She's probably, these two down here may be two of the most unbiased in Congress, although perhaps they just have a different bias I'm not yet aware of. Either way, when it comes to IPAC, the Israel lobby, according to this screenshot, and Track IPAC is the authority linked, both Trump and JD Vance have been given quite a lot of money from Israel. Trump obviously much more. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene have been given none. And that would bode quite well for their trustworthiness in terms of actually doing what Americans want, rather than just what Israel wants America to do. JD Vance notably better than Trump here, so perhaps that's still an upward trajectory for the next president, although notably they have here used the meme picture of JD Vance, so I don't know if this is actually genuine. Either way, disappointed with the high number for Trump there, which is almost certainly, even if this picture is doctored, the number is probably very high. We'll talk more about that today. when I first created this stream, the topic seemed mostly to be Trump versus MTG, but the strong reactions to the Bubba situation I've seen in memes and in other coverage means that that's probably the main story today, but we'll do both. Yes, fair enough, Kieran. That is basically just Vance. Next thing. Yes, these are some messages that were sent recently from a certain someone to a certain someone else. Aiden, do you want to come on quickly to explain this?
Okay.
Well, that sucks for you because I'm going to explain it for you.
No. Okay, so look,
Welcome, Aiden, to the stream. I
Mother is
can't hear you.
clearly
There you
joking.
go.
What? Oh,
I can hear you now.
hello?
Hello.
Okay. My mother is clearly
So
joking.
these were some sincere messages from Aiden's mother.
No, this is a joke.
These are some sincere. You don't know it was a joke.
Yeah, I do.
You just guess it was a joke.
No, I know how she jokes, and she's joking.
You are very good.
Very clearly.
Generally, very, very good at intuitively reading the intent behind words, aren't you, Aiden?
No, I'm not. But it's my own mother. I've known her for 35 years, dude.
Well,
I know when
you'd
she's
hope
joking, and I know
you
how
know
she
her.
jokes.
You'd hope that you know her.
Yeah, I do. So.
I mean, if you know anyone, when anyone's joking, it's probably your own mother. But still, I mean, come on.
Well,
do you
how
actually
about
know?
The audience decide if it's a joke or not.
Exactly. So, do you
No,
want to
I
read
know
it?
how you're all gonna vote.
Aiden, do you want to read out the messages?
No.
Why
Are you
not?
gonna force me to? Because I'm not reading that.
Why not?
I'm not fucking reading that, bro.
Hold on, I'll read it for her. I am just
No.
There you go.
No, it's fine.
It is hilarious.
No, you
Ooh,
can't.
So sexy.
You know what, Ted? Even coming from you, that's true.
You can finish
So,
if you want to there.
Aiden, go ahead.
Shoot, wish I'd heard it live. Doggone it. I will see Usalu soon.
Oh, please, don't skip the important bit.
No, I'm not reading that one.
Which one?
I'm not reading the one before that. Oh, I am listening. I'm just now listening to the stuff about me. It's hilarious.
Please continue.
That
Since
one?
she's a married woman, I figure I would read that part for her. Be inappropriate.
Fine. Aiden's mum thinks I'm so sexy. Is the takeaway from this? Now Aiden thinks she's joking, but Aiden's also motivated to think that. So maybe that's true. Maybe that's true. However,
she's also probably telling the truth.
However,
No,
your
she's
mother,
not.
if your mother was being sincere, she would be correct. So you really got to give her that. You really got to give
What,
her
that it's hilarious?
no,
was
that
pretty
it's
funny.
correct.
Yeah, I agree. She's correct that it is hilarious.
And about the rest of it.
Nah, I don't think so.
Well, how
All
about
right.
we have your mom get on the stream and explain?
She is going to come on Broken Crown, not this Wednesday, but the Wednesday after.
Brokeback Crownton.
I assume you're inviting Uzla to that stream as well.
Yeah.
That's the agreement. That's how it's supposed to work. Oh yes,
Well,
equals
did she-
sex god.
sir.
That's still a thing, isn't it? That's from years ago, and it's still true today. Added by years. Thank you, years. So yeah, for anyone that missed it, I was joking about flirting with Aiden's mum, and now it's coming true.
No, it's not coming true.
It does appear to be coming
she is
true.
joking along with it. She is
well-
going along with the joke.
She either she has a great sense of humor or she has a great sense in men.
Ugh.
What? Am I not worthy of your mother?
Ugh. It's so grotesque.
All I'm hearing
Are
is
you
ugh.
going
I'm
to
not hearing
use
any
the
disagreement. I'm not hearing you tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong about a great many things.
Okay, but you're still not saying I'm wrong about this.
You are wrong about this. My mother is joking. Very
is she?
clearly.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see.
Yes, that's
Malcatello
it's
says,
obviously a joke.
Aiden can look forward to future brothers and sisters. Simply Jeef says, where I'm from, playing along with flirting is flirting. And UFC says Aiden is just gatekeeping Uzlu for herself.
Oh yeah, totally.
Arblar says, now she wants the trunk Zulu. Chap, post equals trunk. Or is it equals trunk
What?
Zulu? Have you seen that picture, Aiden?
No.
Not truck. I think it's just equals trunk. Oh, an Uza trunk.
No,
it's
it's
Uza
not.
trunk. Thank you. There you go, Aiden.
Oh my fucking god, what the fuck? Oh my fucking god, dude.
What, you hadn't seen that?
Why? Thank God, no, I had not. But now I have, and I'm not happy about it one bit.
Well, it's
why does this exist? Why does this exist?
Other than the socks, I mean, it's the proportions are about right.
Oh my god, sure thing.
Kira says, obviously she's just in shock due to you settling down with but a single lovely madam instead of your deserved harem. That's a good point, Kieran, yeah. Welcome, Nachos. We are discussing, sort of discussing the Uza trunk.
Yeah, exactly.
In the context of Aiden's mother. Aiden, have you sent your mother the picture in live chat?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Why would I post disgusting, very bizarre pornography to my mother?
Did Coco make that for you?
No, this is old. I can't remember who made this. This is several years old. Nacho says, Aiden's mum has got it going on. The female alliance has just disintegrated at the mere mention of me flirting with Aiden's mum. It's fantastic. Brito says, I missed 10 seconds ago when I had not seen that. I don't know how you hadn't seen it, to be honest. It's a very prominent meme.
I saw it, unfortunately.
Well, I'm so glad to make you all aware of it. Nacho says that she wants Aiden's mum to be happy. Aiden, do you think I would make your mum happy?
No.
Why not?
Because you're 30 years younger than her.
I mean, there is
and
that.
It's weird.
For her, not... How often does a 65-year-old woman get a boyfriend who's 30 years younger than her?
Oof.
UFC says, Aiden, are you ready to call Uzlu's stepdaddy?
Never.
Never? Okay.
Nope.
So what if they did get married? You wouldn't call him stepdad, not even once.
It will never be a consideration I have to make.
That seems awfully premature, Aiden.
God.
Kieran says she's worried about you harming her mother with the Girthquaker, obviously. Is that your name for my penis? Kieran. Nachos asks, can she handle the sexual bulldog? Aiden, your thoughts?
Disgust.
Ghost asks you, Aiden, will the phrase, what are you doing, Stepzaloo, be entering your vocabulary?
No.
Well, but why not? It would technically be true if that happened.
It's not gonna happen.
Prepare yourself
Me
for the
too.
Girthquake.
Oh
You know,
my God.
they build some buildings specially just to withstand the Girthquake.
Is your building rated for that?
Let's invite your mother over and find out. Ghost asks, will Cabal be invited to the wedding? It'll be streamed live to Cabal.
Of course.
And Aiden will be forced to enjoy it.
I have live streamed a wedding before. Mega and Lozzie's wedding was streamed into the zone.
So, okay, so you're willing to do it again?
No. Well, for an event that will never happen, sure.
Chat, you heard her. She's agreed. She's agreed to stream it when I marry her mother. All right. Perhaps we have gone on long enough with this now. The pact is
Yes,
sealed,
please.
says
Thank
Ghost.
you.
Chat, have you anything else for us to use to go along with this for longer? Kieran says, Aiden, if they honeymoon in Florida, is it renamed Manaconda?
Ugh.
UFC is asking if you'll be the flower girl for the wedding.
That will not happen, sure.
Chat, the pact is sealed once again. Nachos has jumped in front of Aiden to say, yes, I'll be the flower girl. Apparently it's Bill's job to be the flower girl. I'm not sure about that.
I don't like where any of this has gone.
Invite Dev as the best man.
Yeah,
I don't think he qualifies.
Dev is your best man. I don't know. Wait, as best or as man? Because the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Or well,
yeah,
he's neither.
Both. Nachos has been offered the job of ring bearer. Nachos, you can be Frodo. Oh, Nachos wants Aiden to be. Okay. What do you want to be then, Nachos? You don't want to be in it. You want to be a long way away, do you? A drunk guest. Well, you know what, Nachos, you might be particularly well equipped for that. I think most people there will have to get drunk just to cope with the fact that it's happening, including especially Aiden. Brit Twit trying to bring Bill in here. It's a dangerous game you're playing. Ghost says, I'm legally able to officiate weddings in most US states. Well, shit, Aiden, I'm going to have to go to the US at some point.
Well, me too.
That's a good point, yeah. We can be on the same flight while we fly over for me to get married to your mother.
I'm not doing it, though. But I am, because I'm ordained minister in the Church of Science, or not Scientology, in the Church of Subgenius.
I don't think you can just make things up like that and marry people
I'm not making that up. I'm not making that up. I am an ordained minister in the Church of the Subgenius.
I don't think you can just make that up.
I was baptized by Reverend Ivan Stang and everything.
I don't know who that is, and I don't know what that is.
Such thing as female priests and bishops and all that kind of stuff. It is just heresy.
Ghost says, too late, it's adding Scientology to Aiden's notes.
Subgenius.
UFC is asking, Aiden, will you plan your mother's bachelorette party?
Sure.
Chat, the pact is once again sealed.
I fucking hate this.
Do you remember when I asked you, hey, how much would it take to get us onto a stream together? And you said a number, and then it happened?
Yeah.
Or it's going to happen?
Okay, it didn't actually reach
have
that.
You learned, have you not learned your lesson about agreeing to things?
A single person donated. We didn't get a whole lot of donations on stream for it, so it was like $20, I think, in total, maybe 30. But it wasn't anywhere near. It must have been. I think it was at least 30 towards it. But then afterwards, someone gave me 500 for it. So with a single $500 donation, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to. Obviously, I'm gonna fulfill that.
I do appreciate that. Kieran says, new law drop. Aiden will join Uzlu and her mum's hands in holy matrimony.
Ugh.
Wormhole says, it will certainly be an event to remember. Whether that be good or bad, who is to say? Aiden, do you think it'll be good or bad?
I think she's more worried that it actually works out, you guys fall in love and actually get married.
Who wouldn't be?
That's not happening. Bill is yelling at me because he was pinged in chat and then he saw that horrific pornography. And he's deeply disturbed. And now he's shaking his head at me in disdain and disgust.
As he should.
I'm not responsible for any of this.
That was some fantastic fan art you made of me, Aiden. Can you guys ping Bill and say, please thank Aiden for making the User Trunk fan art? Aiden is currently being shouted at to respond.
Oh, here's the propaganda poster for the Church of the Subgenius.
Yeah, that looks real to me.
It is. I showed you pictures from X Day.
Pug says, is this text from Aiden's mum? Yes, it is. Jesus, Ghost. Okay. You really added a bit more to it than I was going to. Kieran says, Aiden, think of it like this. That's 500 more in the pot for Spoon to tard over and forget to claim and somehow blame you for. Content for a quiet news month.
No. Also, I'm set that shit, like, that he wasn't even on that stream. That's my money. He's not getting a cut of that part. Because considering I've had to basically pimp my mother
Aiden,
out for it.
I'm the one that made that happen, so surely I'm closer to deserving some of it than Spoon is.
Yeah, I did offer you a split of it.
I'm joking. You get all of it.
To go have a phone date with her mom.
Exactly. Yeah.
I am, of course, joking. It is
you get that reward.
It is entirely your money. However, you do have to actually give people what they want. UFC is asking Aiden, will the wedding be wheelchair accessible for Dai? You're now organizing the wedding, apparently.
I guess you, yeah.
Nachos apparently will bring the weed. Nachos, you will not be alone in that, and you may even be challenged in providing the most. If this wedding happens, Aiden will be a fucking weed golem. She will be nothing but weed. She will have some blood in her weed system.
Yeah, true. Sometimes.
So, what role will Cybersmith have in the wedding? Tendon inspector. Or something, I don't know. Nachos is offering to smoke you out enough to forget what's happening, Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, DJ. Cybersmith is apparently going to escort the daughter of the bride. Aiden, Cybersmith is going to be your your escort for the entire day.
Oh my god.
Cybersmith door security. If anyone tries to bring a weapon in, slash their tendons. Took, you're being challenged by Nachos for smoking prowess. It's a good point, Ghost. I mistakenly said if, but we're going to keep positive. What I meant is when this event happens.
Never. In fiction.
I mean, that really is up to Oozlu and your mom, though, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of control over this, Ed.
Yeah, I do. I know enough to know that it's ridiculous, obviously.
I think another thing as well, practically, Oozlu kind of probably wants to leave the UK since it's going to be conquered by Islam. And marrying your mom is the perfect green card through the front door.
Sorry, you're just a green card scam as a...
I mean, I would disagree with that, but it does also add to the meme. No, you know what? I will disagree with that, because that would imply that it's not genuine. Yeah, Ghost is right. If it was a green card scam, I could just marry Atronach. The problem is, Atronach is literally a border hopper, so I don't know if he would actually be able to get me a green card as well.
You don't
Aiden,
want to move to Canada.
Who's going to give away the bride, Aiden?
No.
Will it be you?
I guess.
All right, chat. The pact is sealed.
This is some monkey's paw shit. I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm probably top. Well, not probably. No, it won't be, and I will definitely top myself. Holy shit! No fucking choice.
You'll be topping yourself, and I'll be topping your mum.
Oh my god!
Chat, press 1 if I should not have said that. Oh, you know what? Bug didn't like it. I'm okay with it. Nachos apparently liked it. No 1 from Aiden. I guess she doesn't mind.
That's what you're expecting me to do, and then I'll be mocked for it. So you know my position on this is clear. My position on this is clear. First of all, it's not gonna happen. So yeah.
Well, you sound really sure about that, Aiden.
I am. I'm very sure about it. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Why are you so sure?
Because it's the most fucking retarded thing ever, and it's clearly a joke.
I wouldn't describe your mum that way. In fact, I'd be much politer than that.
No, I mean, you're a joke. Obviously.
Well, I mean, I am funny.
You are funny.
Chat, she's complimenting
See?
me.
It wasn't even that
Your mom
offensive.
thinks he's funny too.
Yeah, she might like my humor as well.
She did say it was hilarious, or no?
Will she come down the
So here's
aisle
an
to
important
Aiden's mum as
question.
the data
How
going
wealthy
on?
is your
Yeah,
mom?
the song that was just made the other day by Wolf. That would be pretty fun. You liked that song, didn't you, Aiden?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I heard. I really managed to not hear almost any of it.
There was a part of the stream where I was playing it and you didn't deafen.
Oh, right. By that point, my brain had just started filtering it out.
So you did hear it.
I think my ears picked it up, but my brain was actively ignoring it.
Mm-hmm. Chat, she heard it. She loves it.
I think she wants to listen to it again.
UFC says, don't you dare say you object to the match during the ceremony. Yeah, you would have a final opportunity to object then. But I think by that time we will have heard your objections loud and clear. Nacho says we'd stop her. The moment Aiden stands up, Nacho's fucking dives on her. Aiden wants to steal Oozlu from her mum. I don't know about that.
Oh my
Jada.
god. No.
I have to navigate very carefully out of respect for Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I did listen to your live stream the other day when she was raping you while drunk.
I'm sorry, what? Have I missed something there?
Oh, Aiden was very intoxicated. You joined the voice call and she proceeded to assault you very viciously.
Yeah. Remember when I raped you, man? Yeah, you don't remember?
I don't remember this. What actually happened?
Remember when you got raped?
No, actually, I don't.
Wow, your memory sucks. That wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 weeks ago, dude.
What else happened?
I got drunk. Then you got
Wait,
raped.
Was this time
Remember?
it was in person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that wasn't rape. You just destroyed your foot for no reason.
I did. It's finally normal now.
Who the hell is supporting Aiden Pala rape? That's not even clever.
Nah.
Intoxicating. That's better.
That is
How's
pretty
your
good. I like
tooth?
that.
My tooth is okay right now. It was nudged yesterday and then it was in pain for like 3 hours. The painkillers helped a little bit, but not very much. Thank you for sending them. They did it actually better than nothing. But
Today,
it was
I
still
needed
pain.
painkillers. We almost didn't have any either.
Ice cold water is the worst thing that I can do for a tooth pain. It would make it much, much more painful.
Initially, but eventually it takes the swelling down and makes it feel better.
Nah, the solution was to just wait. Deal with the pain. I did have painkillers because Aiden sent some over, but I would have been okay without them. Is British dentistry just painkillers? I haven't seen to a dentist yet, no. According to Aiden, British dentistry is much better than American dentistry anyway. And British
It's not
dental
even
health.
fucking close.
British dental health is, by some data I've seen, superior to American dental health as well, despite the
It's
stereotype.
just less of an emphasis on the superficiality, and
Yeah.
so like when you go to a dentist in America, they're gonna try to get you all kinds of like cleaning stuff in terms of like to make your teeth look really good rather than actually taking care of them, or I mean Jesus Christ, like everyone in California's got veneers. And in order to get veneers, they've got to shave all your teeth down to little nubs and then put on a porcelain cover over top or whatever it's made out of.
That's horrible.
Like, but go look at what people's teeth actually look like if they've been fitted for veneers. They're little nubs. It's horrifying.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Up on a picture.
That's disgusting. Who the hell would do that?
Everyone in Hollywood. Like, legitimately, everyone in Hollywood, for the most part, has veneers.
That's disgusting. Why the fuck would you trust the dental institution to keep replacing the porcelain covers on your teeth? And if they don't, you basically can't chew food. That's horrible.
So you can see the porcelain veneers on the sides, and then the two in the center are with the veneers off.
That's fucking Gollum core.
I know, dude.
Nasty. Never. Don't do that. Chat, I would far rather have real teeth that aren't pure white than that shit. I hope it's not all of them, Took, but I fear it might be. Yes, Gollum Core, indeed. They have to tell Nathan Delmo. Yeah. Should we talk about Nathan Delmo a bit today, chat? I think if we're going to do that, we should get Norman and Quattro here. They were talking about it with me. But yeah, so I guess we'll talk about that a bit, though. Chat, post some pictures of Delmo and I can show everyone. Veneers fall out easily. Yeah, like if they were like sturdy and never fell off, but you did have to replace them every like 6 months or a year, then I could see it for like very wealthy celebrities. If they like, I still would never do that. That's still horrible, but at least that's the closest because they need to compete at the top levels, so they need to do something like that. But if they sometimes fall out, I mean, even then, I don't know. I think I'd rather just, yeah. They're thank you, Jeef. That's Delmo.
God, he really looks like a frog. I'm sorry. He's so frog-like in appearance.
Chat, it's time to hear the story of Delmo, the CEO of Pepsi. So,
right.
Let me see if I can find a screenshot of his initial contact where he graced us with his presence. Here it is. All right, this one. By then, I should just be able to show it like this. So this was the initial contact. He sent these messages in my Kick chat. Now, it was Aiden that suggested that I use Kick, and therefore, all of this is Aiden's fault. All right.
No, I would. Yeah,
so he starts,
dude, I was trying.
Come follow me on Twitch.
I was trying to get you a bag.
You were genuinely trying to help. However, because you were trying to help, this happened. Come follow me on Twitch. I give you a follow on Kick. Twitch.tv/DelmoPepsi. Username on Twitch @DelmoPepsi. Follow my Twitch stream. I'm live. Delmo Pepsi. Twitch username Delmo Pepsi. Go follow Twitch Delmo Pepsi. Follow my Twitch, or I keep spamming you. Twitch.tv/Delmo Pepsi. And then that 3 times. He spammed and threatened me to watch his channel or he'd keep spamming. Now that takes balls. That's not just a bot spamming me. That is, well, maybe, but either way, look, probably a real person, probably typing this in himself. So, what did I do when I saw this just after the stream ended? Sadly, I didn't see it live. Well, I went straight to his fucking Twitch channel. And I found, much to my disappointment, what was it? It's at that one. That it's fucking banned. It's fucking banned. It was banned when I checked it, which means that between him sending that spam and me checking it, his account was banned from Twitch. Now that's bad fucking timing. The only other possibility for how that happened is if he, was advertising a banned Twitch channel, a channel that was already banned. That's the only other possibility. Now, who would do that? Who would be retarded enough to do that? Well, how about an actual literal retard? Because that's what he is. Let me get you some more material here. What I did was I found this. I then posted the Twitch channel in Discord, and that embedded to show his profile picture. His profile picture contained the word Delmo Pepsi. So I looked that up, and I found his whole shit. His Twitter was also all banned, by the way, when I looked it up, for this same name, but he has another one that is not banned. So looked up Delmo Pepsi, and then there he is. So this is one of my favorite tweets from him, right? He says the following. He says this, quote, "Let get respect for my consequences. Please let know, do you respect and legend and world entertainment on give me a chance to Aiden X Delmo 2025 on stream, and you do this problem something else you are respect and support create a collab with Delmo other Kick and Twitch stream." Now, Not the same Aiden we know, sadly. Otherwise, that would be a fantastic coincidence. A different Aiden, some big Twitch streamer.
Aiden Ross, yes. Who is friends with Trump, or at least, has been invited to the White House by Trump, I think, on more than one occasion.
Meaning that Nathan Delmo here is now the closest connection that I have, possibly, to Trump, or at least equal close with Aiden.
It would be equally closely through me, through Jack Pacific, yeah.
Here's another fantastic picture of Mr. Delmo. I fucking hate this website, by the way.
God, holy shit.
Yeah, that's him.
I got a fucking DM from you at like 2 a.m. after I went to sleep that said, you have to get in here. We found a creature. I woke up at probably like 7 o'clock in the morning, as I normally do. And you were all still in chat discussing this creature. And it's like, yep, creature is the correct word.
He really is a creature. And he has a YouTube, and it's really active. He's posted loads of stuff there. And here's his channel banner. Delmo famous, I guess. Aiden Ross head mod. He was a moderator for this streamer for a while. I think I don't know, but he may have just been put there as like a joke, and then he's instantly removed. But he has this all over the place and calls himself head mod. He now calls himself ex-moderator. World best ever top Aiden Ross ex-moderator is what he says. Popular creator of the Pepsi CEO of Delmo. They were probably
fucking with him, you know? Yes. I would imagine.
Yes. So he is just very slightly mentally deficient. Would you say, Aiden, very slightly?
Oh, just a little bit.
Yeah.
User to me.
Well, I've invited him. He hasn't joined yet. What I will show you, however, is he made a diss track. All right, now this is art. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for art. Okay, that is the wrong song. Thank you, SoundCloud, for being made of shit. And that is Delmo Pepsi's musical talent, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck was that?
Alcatula says the voice of a generation. It is.
Yeah, I hear tinnitus, yeah.
Grunt rap. That I guess. I mean, that's the music he produced.
It's not even mumble rap, yeah. Grunt rap, right, yeah.
I think grunting may be all he's capable of. What's his... So hold on, how many videos has he actually made? He's made loads of shorts as well.
117, 112. What is it? 13. I can't.
113, yeah.
It's too tiny.
Too tiny, just like you.
Oh no, I had it minimized. Well, because I'm editing.
Fair enough. He's made a new video 20 hours ago. He's still actively uploading, by the way. It looks like he does interviews with a lot of people, just being retarded. So someone in chat just now that said interview him, that's not a new idea. Well, the high-pitched part's the scanner sound effect from TOS Star Trek. I don't think so, no. If they were, it would have been, like, spaced out, so you couldn't tell very easily. Leave it to Dane to explain, because he seems... Is he quite quiet? I don't know. Either way, yeah, this is the guy. He also has a TikTok, apparently with lots of followers, which is, of course, depressing. Let's see. Has he posted anything else since? There's a picture of him with
Look
3 watches.
Dripped out, iced up.
I don't know what that means.
He's got ice. His arm is dripping in ice, dude.
He's going to dance for us. Ready? If you're wondering why you can't hear the audio, that's because he forgot to record audio. That's the guy. Now, you may think, oh no, another white guy who's been sucked in by black gangster culture. You see, the thing here is, that would be a step up IQ-wise for him.
Yeah.
Black gangster culture is something for him to aspire to, IQ-wise.
It's just making gremlin noises and drinking Pepsi. What the fuck?
It sure is.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen.
What? Wasn't joining Kick worth it?
Voice of a generation. This is what happens when you take Aiden's advice.
Aren't you glad? Aren't you glad you took my advice? Started streaming on Kick. Look at the fruits that it has already bore out.
I'm not sure he has the IQ to be a fruit. Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he is literally sub-Berwick levels of humanity.
Well, like Ricky is intelligible and actually fairly clever at points.
Yeah.
This guy is unintelligible and not clever.
Yeah. So if you ever see someone begging for followers through a spam bot or something on some live stream, here's who it could be. So yeah, this is it's the latest character adjacent to Cabal. I would like to get him into the server. I sent him an invite, as you could probably see here. Go off, King. You say it like it is. You should join this Discord. They all love you there. And then the link. It looks like he didn't join though. I did get one like on this tweet from someone with 43,000 followers. That was cool.
Yeah.
It was Aiden.
You're welcome.
Go says, holy shit, that's Wes Y11. Oh my god, I didn't notice it at first. But yeah, that's Wes Y11. My god. Yeah, he's not brown enough to be Wes. No. I know what Wes looks like. I haven't ever shown anyone. But it doesn't look that similar to Wes now. He probably has a similar IQ though, given how competent Wes has handled the whole situation. Here's another picture of him with 3 watches. Okay, chat, type a number in chat. How many of those watches do you think he actually knows how to read?
Are they set at different times? I didn't even check. Well, maybe it's an international clock. He's got like one in EST, one in GMT, whatever, one in, I don't know.
That would be
China,
very
Hong
high
Kong time or something.
I think they are all set at different times, yeah.
Because it looks like it, yeah.
So yeah, that's Delmo.
How many subscribers does he have on TikTok?
That many.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's really, really easy to get followers on TikTok, from my understanding, but it's nearly 7,000.
Well, the thing is, he's a spectacle because he's so retarded. I mean, here we are entertained by him.
Obviously. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh no, I don't get me wrong. I am not dissing this man's game. I am in awe of it.
Mm-hmm. Chat, are you in awe of this game? This man's game? Everyone's saying 0 is the number of watches he can read. I think that might be true, yes. Yeah, we should get him into Cabal. This is important now. In fact, chat, please, I would never recommend, please don't visit the creators mentioned in this video, and please don't harass any of the creators. No, go and harass him and ask him to join Cabal. Cuck.shotfortotaku.com or cabal.oozaloo.net. Or anything like that. Nacho says, no, he looks pathetic. Yeah, but it'd be funny. Not on Twitter. Why not on Twitter? He's IRL Officer Doofy from Scary Movie. Well, but he can't. He's subverbal. I didn't even know he was subverbal. Oh, you're not on Twitter, okay. If you're going to type in cuck.shotfortotaku.com, you might need to put the https:// at the beginning. But it might work anyway. Mavis says, after the public execution of Falco, Cabal has been in apparent dire need of a lolcow. We've got Stu, who I didn't expect to be a lolcow when he first joined. He seems harmless, but it's very retarded from what people have, from what he's been posting anyway. Yeah, Stu is a specimen for sure. He seems very harmless, incredibly so. Most locals are harmless. Well, Falco wasn't. That's why he had to be banned in the end. Really didn't have much of a choice at the end. Yeah, there you go. There's Delmo. What was it? Someone said the other day that was his mum on like a 5K run when she gave birth to him and just didn't notice that he'd slipped out until a few kilometers after he had, just bouncing along the pavement. And that would explain it, wouldn't it,
Aiden? Yeah, probably. I'll be right back also.
All right, no worries. Aiden has to control her mother's urges, I suppose.
No, I gotta grab a drink, dingus.
Is that what we're calling it these days? Where's origin story, you say? Do you know Wes and co will be screenshotting these messages that are about Wes and talking about them in their private little channel that they think we don't know about. Whenever Wes is mentioned, it happens. So what you could do is you could get a picture of Nathan here and then just put in like big fucking bold header text letters, "Hey, look, it's Wes," and then a picture of Nathan. They will get that, they will talk about it, and it'll be funny. True, Nachos, true. They will probably screenshot that and then talk about it incessantly. Oh, and by the way, in that channel where they spend pretty much all day talking about us at length, one of them said that they're living rent-free in our head. Just so you know. Anyway, shall we move on? Can you grab that image of Delmo with the watches? I linked his Twitter, but I'll get it for you, yeah? There he is with the watches. Goes as only because it's funny. Kieran says, creating alt accounts just to snoop really that much harder than going, will drop it and coming back for movie nights and shit. He doesn't need to create alt accounts. Most of them haven't been banned. It's an open server. Only a few people from Wes's server actually did anything against the rules. The worst that happened to most of them is they were demoted from level 3. And of course, the joke then became, well, you can't ever come back. It's basically like being killed. You demoted from level 3, you die in real life. That's the way most of them treated it. You literally killed them, exactly. Exactly. They did something that demonstrated that they couldn't be trusted, so we removed the role that's for highly trusted people. And then they fucking died in real life! But yeah, Kieran, I don't know. There's nothing... Most of them, like even Wes, ultimately could redeem himself. I mean, at this point, maybe not, but certainly at some points he could have done. He could have just come back. But there's too much ego from Wes there. It's interesting though how little their community's actually grown. In the last year since the drama started, almost a year, they've had, as far as I can tell, almost no new members join. Everyone that's ever in there, I recognize.
I tried to join. I even said I wouldn't bully Wes in there, and I was denied for some reason.
Probably because you're active here. They keep a very close eye on Cabal. It's an open server. I really don't care if they do. Ghost says the mandatory kill switches you added to the spinal columns of all remaining level 3s has really streamlined the process. Yeah. Indeed, Nachos, indeed. The thing is that Wes's ego is extremely fragile. Mine isn't. Though I go very heavy on the sort of egotism. Wes does as well. However, underneath he's very, very fragile. And so he has to sort of reorganize everything to protect it, which means lies of various kinds, manipulation, revisionism. Have you ever seen the South Park episode where Jimmy made up the joke about the fish dicks? I think it was that one. And then gradually throughout the episode, Cartman has just sort of revised history in his own head about what happened to make himself look better. He genuinely believes it. He's not lying. He genuinely believes that. That's exactly where it's down to a T. It's what he's done the whole time since all this drama started. If he ever makes a claim, just ask him for evidence. He'll fall apart. He'll actually get angry at you for asking about it. any evidence, anything at all, even the slightest indication that what he's saying is true, he will fail to provide it. Or what he provides will prove him wrong. It is. Because his own narratives just are so different than what actually happened, because they've just gradually slid in the direction of what's required to protect his ego over the years. The same thing is true of the original drama. 5 years ago, he lost moderator because he didn't use it very well. He had clearly the wrong temperament for moderator. He lost it. He cried. Literally, I'm not joking. He cried. And then 5 years later, he's forgotten everyone that was involved. He's changed who was there. He's changed what was done. He's changed who did it. He changed how he reacted. He changed how I reacted. He changed how several other people reacted to it. He's changed almost everything about it in his own head, to the point that it makes him look great and bears almost no resemblance to what actually happened. But that's a basis for everything else he's done. So in order to protect that narrative, he started calling outreach pedophiles. And I mean, that's essentially the reason. It's also, I think, because he intended to cause a schism at the beginning of this year. We have some indications that he was telling some people that he wanted to do that, just keeping it quiet from me. Moving City out should have been a hint, maybe, yeah. But no, he'd be a problem wherever he is. We have a suspicion, though we don't know this, that maybe he left Florida because he caused this kind of problem there and couldn't go back. He always talked about how much he liked Florida, never went back, never even considered going back. But we don't know that. That's just speculation. Anyway, I mentioned that whole thing because it's funny, much like Delmo here is. It's not actually a concern for anyone listening who may still like Wes. It's not actually a worry. It's not someone we worry about what they'll do, because Wes has always been so utterly inept. It doesn't bother us. It's just entertainment. It's just a lolcow. Yeah. Chris fucking Chandler. He just lives rent-free in the heads of all those people that are fucking with him and documenting his every retarded move. Nah, that's not the right way of viewing it, is it? It's not that he lives rent-free in the head. It's just that he is entertaining to poke. That's what we're doing with Wes too. I mean, there's even things where I've done stuff that relies on him being just smart enough to see some connection, and he hasn't even managed to do that. He's missed it. So I have to dumb down the tricks just for Wes. And then they work, of course, but it's crazy. It's really crazy. Anyway, we've been distracted with intra-drama for a while now. Let's go back to infra-drama, and here it is. Dramatic.
Ugh, put it away.
All right, I'll put the Oozer trunk away. Anyway. Man-keeping is why more and more women are done with dating. Ooh, there's so much wrong with this.
What the fuck is man-keeping?
Vice says the following. Managing his stress, interpreting his moods, holding his hand through feelings he won't share with anyone else. All of it unpaid, unacknowledged, and often unreciprocated. Is it any wonder women are fed up?
That is the purest form of projection.
It really is. This is almost... I mean,
it's just unreal.
Yeah. Almost to a T, this is what women demand from men. If you just swapped the gender, this would be quite accurate and actually brave of Vice to say something true and real like that.
It is quite accurate and true and brave and real, but it's just the reversal of the sexes.
They just reversed who it's about, and so now it's false, cowardly, and fake. And gay.
Feminine.
Yes.
Homeless.
What's actually happening here is women who have higher than average, or higher than, should we say, optimal testosterone, with men with dramatically lower testosterone than optimal, who, to the extent that it reverses the emotional roles. This does, I'm sure, happen, but it's minute compared to the opposite way around. This is the baseline of what men are expected to do in relationships.
No,
the baseline.
See, but
most of human history.
Women think that, though. Like, I'm sure that they do convince themselves of that, like, oh my God, having to, I mean, I don't even know. having to understand that another human being has emotions and someone else exists outside of yourself, that must be traumatizing for a certain segment of women. You know the exact kind of woman I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like that woman probably does have relationships with people and go and thinks, oh my God, I'm so put upon to have to tolerate another human being having thoughts and feelings and emotions and problems of their own that require empathy and sympathy. Unbelievable, unfathomable.
Yeah. So
I hate women so much, it's unreal. Greetings from Kazakhstan.
Okay. Everything Aiden says is a meme. This is basically the baseline of what is expected from men, not just in the hypergamous days we live in today, but pretty much all time. Women, of course, it wouldn't be unreciprocated if things were roughly equal. This is something that both genders would do for each other. But even today, most men would be willing to have a relationship where they do this, and the woman's just nice to them sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable. Just like, yeah, when you actually speak to men, obviously, it's just like what they ask from women is can you just be nice to me sometimes?
Yep.
Yeah, and it's insane because women, of course, think that so much is being asked of them. But in most cases, when you then go ahead and poll men, and again, women will say that the men are lying, they actually want, or they'll say, well, they don't actually care about anything. They have no emotions. They all they care about is sex, which is also, in terms of the statistics, it seems to be in many ways projection. Yes, men obviously care about sex, but like women are just care about sex just as much. So it's
can we have that picture of female porn versus male porn?
Exactly.
Please?
That's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Recently in
yes.
Meme Shrine, yeah.
Yeah, the amount of pornography that women consume. I mean, it's a different type of pornography, but it is pornography nonetheless. And women consume a massive amount of pornography.
I did see this recently in
literature.
The women who do can consume pornography, it's much, okay, here we go. It's much sort of darker and harsher and more extreme.
Yeah.
It's not so much about the pornography, it's more about the romance. It's more about what is romance that's written for men all about. It's about people being cute and sweet and nice and cooperative and like taking on the world together.
It's very often about men sacrificing too.
Yeah.
Like even in men's versions of romance, and what they would, or what men seem to appreciate when there are romantic elements to stories, is like a man sacrificing and giving and working really hard and doing these great things that are aspirational. Women's media and women in general, like men inspire each other, and oftentimes in a very comedic way, like talking shit. But it's in order to make other guys be better. Women just do not all, again, of course, for either sex, but as a tendency, women tend to do passive aggressive, in fact, very much encouraging their female friends to do things that they know are bad for them. Like, go get fat because that's empowering. What they're really doing, of course, is knocking competition out of the sexual marketplace to their own friends. I watched this happen in real time between some of my friends in college. And because I was so autistic, it didn't work on me because I didn't even understand the message that was being sent. But basically, a portion of my female friend group in college all decided to get really fat. And they encouraged me to as well. But I couldn't tell that's what they were doing because I wasn't going to do that shit.
Aiden, I'm going to put a picture of your favorite book on screen.
There it is. No, I told you my favorite one of those books is the Viking one that I found in a Barnes & Noble. Truly Madly Viking.
Women's romance is generally how little can a woman do and still get the ultimate man.
Yes.
Who will then mistreat her, but she likes it. Men's romance is generally
her in a specific way she wants, yeah?
Yes. Men's romance is generally, wow, this girl's nice.
Yeah.
And like I can trust her. That's the romantic fantasy.
Have you read this description before? Have I read this at you or showing this to you before?
Oh my god. I found this posting her favorite pornography.
No, we were in a Barnes & Noble when I was in high school. We used to do dramatic readings of the backs of these books. This was the funniest one we ever found.
Are you going to read it for us?
Okay, sure. Truly Madly Viking by Sandra Hill. This has got a 4.07 stars on Goodreads. Mad about you, his boat off course, distracted by a randy she-whale whose infatuation had somehow thrust him into the 21st century, Jorund Eriksson had cause to question his surroundings. And though the befuddled Viking thought he'd found heaven when he caught sight of the comely witch with the man hair and kissed some lips, the lovely doctor simply thought him crazy. And Jorund realized the only thing that had driven him to the edge was her enticing figure. He skyrocketed from the water and into Maggie's all sinewy muscles in a flawlessly proportioned body. A swath of long blonde hair swept back from his brow. His claim to be a Viking from the 10th century made her smile, but it wasn't laughter that caused her stomach to flutter when the Hercules look-alike claimed her lips. And soon he had her believing his story, though questioning her own sanity. Then the psychologist realized there was neither of them was truly mad of them. They were truly madly in love. And yes, it is grammatically incorrect in the last sentence. Neither of them was truly mad of them, were truly madly in love. What the fuck, dude?
That last sentence is pretty fucking butchered. But yeah, that's a hell of a premise. That's a hell of a premise. Chat, should we
My favorite
ask...
part's the Randy she-whale.
Yes. Should we ask AI to generate some realistic but hilarious quote-unquote books for women blurbs? No, says Karen.
That's a fucking real one, and I don't know how you can get more insane than that. So, like, I mean, I'm sure it can, but I guess you could put that into the AI and see, like, in the same genre as this.
So,
but they're all like that, by the way. And this would have been back in 2005, 2004.
Yeah. So a portion of women are asexual and uninterested in sex, probably much more than men. And then there's a portion that are, willing but not interested. The women that are interested in sex, which is a much smaller proportion than of men who are interested in sex, are fucking insane.
Yeah. And it's all like this. Again, like, and this one too, I think this was I mean, I don't know. Look at the fucking cover too. Like, Jesus Christ, it's just a shirtless, oily man. Like, No, it doesn't even have a face. They don't even let you see his face. It's just a chin. You know what I mean? And then women have the fucking audacity to complain about, where are her organs? Sexualizing the female form. Bitch, what is this? Yeah.
Ezreal,
also,
I have to say,
best-selling author of The Bewitched Viking, and she's got hundreds of books like this.
I have to say, Ezreal, of all of those categories for the women's porn tastes around the world, lesbian/rough being the one assigned to British, that is the least bad of all of those by far. Americans, interracial, right, so blacked. Japanese, pissing. Polish, vintage, right, so your literal grandmother. Ukrainian, Russian men. Well, yeah, that fucking tells you something, doesn't it?
Real.
And then Russian, meanwhile, more interested in feet. Yeah, I think lesbian/rough is way more acceptable than any of the rest of those. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Stooge says, look up the description for the second book in the Milking Farm series. I think it's Sweet Berries. I would rather not. Ghost says, I used to work in a bookstore. Let me tell you, there are a disturbingly high number of monster fucker books that feature things like anthropomorphized spiders. Yes.
Oh, fun.
They exist. I don't know actually what portion of the men who have this, the kind of crazy sexual fetishes that we're equivocating to women here, what the actual ratio of those two is. It might be roughly equal in terms of numbers. But of course, there's a much larger portion of men who have a moderate interest in sex, shall we say? We'd have to draw out the graphs for this, I think. Ada, maybe you should do this after your horoscopy.
It's a hot topic right now. I think maybe I might do something with this because the woman, what's her name again? Authentic Observer, I think, who made that video that went super viral about this. She covered some statistics and some surveying, But I'd like to really, like, if I go into that, I'll go read 100 studies about it and put that in the video and then be like, hey, did you like that girl's video? I got more autisms. Because it is an interesting subject. And people are clearly interested in it. Because it is bizarre. It goes against all of the narrative framing that women aren't interested in sex and that women are, disgusted by men's sexual lasciviousness or whatever. But no, women are absolutely horny. And one of the things that she talked about in that video a lot too is that how normalized this stuff has become, and that all of the women are doing this, and reading this kind of shit. And by the way, it's all rape. It's all rape. Like, I mean, without almost any exceptions, it's like consensual non-con at absolute best. So again, all the fucking feministy ladies go home and schlick to this shit, to rape, because of course they do. Because I mean, what's their most famous, or their most favorite, piece of literature that they the feminist class in particular is obsessed with? It's The Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale, where it's like, oh no, don't put me in a costume and forcibly impregnate me over and over and put me in a special class above all of the infertile women who are my inferiors. And certainly, and it's not just any man. It's only the richest, wealthiest, most powerful men who will be raping me. No, terrible. Yeah, it's clearly a fucking fetish. It's porn, dude.
Chat, definitely don't clip that. Malcatullo says, weren't you guys watching rock girl porn yesterday? Excuse me. Firstly, they were gem girls, not pornography. Rock girls. One of them had metal alloy. She was a gem and metal alloy. So she's not just rocks. That's ridiculous. And also,
did you have fun watching Steven Universe?
It wasn't Steven Universe, luckily.
Yeah, sounds like you're describing Steven Universe.
Land of the Lustrous is an anime that we watched one series. It was a good start. I was eager to watch more, and then it turns out that's where they stopped. And then we did the scam of Quattro saying, read the manga instead. Ugh, reading.
Wait, you did finish it?
We did finish it, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, so fucking Ezreal's just infinitely posting all of the actual pornography statistics. Been like that for a long time. There's a reason it was a stereotype in 80s movies to have a sleazy woman fiction writer. I think that this has been large, like much more ignored by society than the prevalence of the phenomena actually is.
Well, it's because it's easy to understand why. Men's pornography is visual and therefore very easy to understand, right? You have to actually, people have to read to know how lascivious and grotesque and disgusting women's pornography is. Because for whatever reason, women are not as attracted to the physical representation. They like the written one. And it's probably because they can, I mean, to be honest, it's because she can then insert herself, perhaps quite literally, into the scenario being described using imagination, right?
Do you think Dai might not
Whereas
be very
it's
happy
more
about
difficult
this
to
reality?
do with visual. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Almost twice as likely.
See, it's just like being raped. Told you.
Yep. Secretly, the women of every nation want to be conquered and then raped.
Yeah, it is universal.
Well, not necessarily everywhere. Like conqueror women who are part of conquering nations, I think would be less likely, much less likely to do that. But these are Celts, man. Come on.
What if? I don't know if that's true. I actually don't know if that's true. Women, it is a natural thing for women to want to be conquered to a certain degree because you want like the best man, so the strongest, most powerful man, and that's the one who can fucking rape you. I mean, right? But also one who want to rape you because he's rich and powerful, you know?
Mhm.
Not just physically powerful, but powerful in a social sense.
Chat, I think we've gone too far with Women's Hour. However, shall we go further and see what happens? Shall we bring on Nachos as a second correspondent and just let Aiden and Nachos talk about who, why, and how much they wish to be raped?
Yeah, let's talk about rape.
Nachos, would you like to be our women's sexuality
rape,
correspondent number 2?
Rape.
Do not bring
love
on
that
more
Alex
than
Jones
one
song.
woman, says Ghost. Still on the phone, Nacho says. Will you be able to come onto your proper mic soon? I mean, I think I'd be willing to bring you on with your phone, but it might be distractingly low quality. If women's rights talk about women's wrongs. Well, that would be the point. I mean, it's Nachos and
Yes.
Aiden.
Well, this is women's wrongs, yes.
Two of the most misogynistic people in Cabal. If not
Women
the
are
two
always
most.
the most misogynistic. No, because we know what it's like to be a woman, so we know like why we hate it.
This is very
Agent
true.
Romance, yeah. I can't even remember what kind of, but I want to actually, but you've like so smushed and changed the size of the fucking output that I can't read it. I don't even know what this is.
Aiden, now is not the time for
I can't
schlicking.
read it.
You can't.
But I would
You're
like
not
to
supposed to
read
read
it.
it now.
But I want to know what this chart is. It looks very interesting, but I can't tell what it is because it's been all squished and fucking like compressed.
Fucking East. Oh no, Indian. That's kind of surprising, actually. Celts like ASMR, do they? Aiden, can you confirm?
I don't understand
Scotland
ASMR.
pegging. They will never recover from this.
Oof.
Why is Northwest chubby? Is
Wait,
that because they're so
at?
poor and
Ronald's in this one here.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Northwest chubby? Is that because they're so poor and and hard done to that any woman who's fat is just
Wait
incredible?
a minute. I know everyone I know who's Scottish or Scottish adjacent is gay or gay adjacent, so that makes sense.
So, by the way, this is not the highest searched term in each region. It's just the term that is more searched in that region than any other.
Compared to like, because of course, like you're gonna get the obvious sort of, searches. So,
Yes.
So outside of the things that are searched everywhere, yeah,
Pretty much. Nachos only likes monster girls. What other type is there?
London is so fucked. Turkish, Jesus Christ.
So you're going to find stuff like
Yikes.
that because that's the people that are there
Well, yeah,
who are not in the other regions. It's specifically who are there but not in other regions. And in London and in the West Midlands, and to some extent Northwest and East Midlands, you've got a lot more Arab and I guess Indians as well.
I can't imagine also who would look at Indian porn. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, or Turkish. I mean, just sickening. I mean, except for, I guess, Indians and Turks, but that's, yeah, there you go. Telling. What is joy, though, by the way, also?
Tier, I have no idea. The top tier of women from Turkey and India are probably fine. So for pornography, I doubt there's a problem. In terms of top tier women, there's less separation than the sort of average woman.
Oh, it jerk off instructions.
One,
it's a type of ASMR. That's what joy is.
Two, you didn't need to read it out. Thank you, though, so much.
You're welcome.
And three, that's now something that you'll be using, I expect. Hello, Nachos. The only one on here, like, ASMR is fucking weird. I find it weird anyway. Chav is kind of normal for the region. MILF, that's weird, but whatever. POV is a bit more understandable.
Chav, that's fine. That one's fine. MILF is fine. Chubby, BBW.
Like
ASMR, POV.
For where
POV
I
is
live,
totally normal.
I stay winning on this because for where I live, POV is apparently the most unusually high searched term.
I don't know, but that's a normal. I mean, we consider that a fairly normal.
It's fairly normal, yeah. As porn goes.
Yeah.
Kieran says, who the fuck needs instruction? Well, who the fuck needs porn?
Exactly.
Like, the whole thing is premised on, like it aids you in the thing you're doing, I guess.
Yeah. So what? I have no idea what this is. Obviously, is it just a woman telling you how to jerk off?
I guess.
I mean, it's got to be because when I looked it up, it says it came up with ASMR as like the second word. So I guess it's just yeah instructions on clear dick stuck in ceiling fan the dick. I mean, this is a common hazard, I imagine, right? Like you fuck up when you're trying to jerk off and your dick is stuck in a ceiling fan or in like a socket or something, you know?
John Wick, about 90% of the reason that this has become a porn stream is because of my guest. I wanted to talk about male-female emotional relations, and now here we are talking about pornography because Aiden wanted to.
And
Actually, I think it was probably you that started it.
I think I more or less did, yeah.
Anyway, speaking, you know what, chat? Yes, let's completely get off the topic of sex, particularly disgusting sex. Sex that's illicit or wrong or shouldn't have happened. Anyway, there are two presidents in this photo.
Yeah, one of them's under the desk.
Allegedly. We'll be talking about that today. There's more, though. Here's a tweet from real Donald Trump who says, "The Epstein files are a Democratic hoax. It's fake news. If I had sucked Bill Clinton's dick, it would have been the best, most toe-curling blowjob in presidential history. Believe me, no one cups the balls like me. I'm doing things with my tongue that no one's ever heard of," he says.
I mean, it does sound like him. It's pretty good, but also, yeah, it's just
man. If he was proud of it, that's pretty much what
I'm deeply amused by this. He would be, and I think it is the question. I guess we'll get to it when we get to it. But yeah. Yes,
yeah, this is not real. The story itself might be. We'll talk about that a little later, though I suspect it isn't. We've got this Trump, I guess that's, what is it? Champagne? Top of the bottle, Jeff likes to party. Middle of the bottle, she reminds me of my daughter. Bottom of the bottle, Bill is looking tasty. Not that Bill. Not that Bill, the other Bill. You should start calling Bill Bubba. Chat, can we all at Deep One Bill and just the word Bubba and nothing else? Nacho says,
oh my God.
Why he doesn't want the Epstein files released. See, that's what we got to ask, yeah.
That is the meme, right? I mean, and I was talking to you about this earlier, which is that I would much rather the truth be, if I'm only given two options, I would much prefer the truth be that Donald Trump gave Bill Clinton a beej or many beeges rather than he was a pedophile. Yes. I mean, both are fucking awful. Yes. But out of the two, I would rather that he had gay sex with Bill Clinton than he had sex with children or underage people. You know?
Yes. Unfortunately, the possibility of him having done some sort of embarrassing humiliation ritual to get into the good graces of the upper class elite in the 90s is non-zero. I doubt he sucked off Bill, but it's possible.
Well,
we'll talk about that more.
I've got my other thing
Firstly,
about it.
Though,
hold on to it.
Bubba is Bill Clinton's well-known nickname. That's obviously who they're referencing in the email. That's the story they want you to believe. But Ghislaine Maxwell also owned a horse named Bubba.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, now what's worse? What's worse? I still think I think Bill Clinton's the best option here.
Yeah. Wormhole says it might explain why Hillary hated him so much. You think Hillary was jealous of Trump's BJ skills?
It would. I mean, because, she's all teeth and there's no enthusiasm there, obviously. You can just imagine.
She was quite enthusiastic with me. I mean, yeah, I bet she's terrible.
Oh, the kill dog was enthusiastic with you? How'd you land that? I mean, she's probably quite desperate.
Excuse me? Actually, are you calling your mother desperate? Aiden, there is precedent for me being extremely attractive to older women. I mean, come on.
All right. I mean, that's a joke, you see. That's joking. That's japes.
Not sure it is, actually. Chat, I'm going to put a poll. This poll is very important. Is Aiden's mum joking about me being, quote, S? How many O's is that? 1, 2, 3, 4?
It's 5. No, wait. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, it is 4. It is 4.
She's joking. No, she's for real. Okay, there we go. That should be fine. We'll just make it 1 hour for now. There's the poll, chat. All right. Vote as you like, Aiden. I'm going to just go ahead and ban everyone that votes yes. Oh, never mind. No one is. Aiden, are you going to vote on that poll?
I did.
Did you? Okay, let me have a look.
Oh my god, no.
Well, it looks like, I don't know.
It's just me. Come on. I mean, it's obviously a joke.
Aiden, with that many O's.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, I mean, she put 4 O's.
Oh my god. Oh, I hate you so much, dude. I should never have sent you that. Why do I always do this? Why do I keep doing this?
I just want you to know that I would have kept this secret from my audience. You sent it to them yesterday.
I did. I posted it, yeah.
Also, as Took says, be nice to your new stepfather. I already posted it
to you, and so that was me reclaiming my power, because I had sent it to you, and then I knew you had it. So then if I just release it in general, it would be better for me.
Yeah, but that implies that I would be releasing it against your will. It's private until you say it's not. You said it wasn't by posting it yourself, and so here it is.
It's so funny. I needed everyone to see it. It's so funny. You know.
Maybe this is starting to look like
obviously
Cabal are the ones who want to fuck Oozlu. Come on, who doesn't? The Lender Est Femoids says, conflicting images. Release the Aiden files.
I think this is them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, as Took says, Aiden, be nice to your new stepdad before he sends you to bed without alcohol. That literally happened while you were here.
It literally did happen. It did happen.
There's already precedent for this.
Because you fucking toloid put my cider and vodka on top of the fucking cabinet.
You almost broke your fucking foot because you were drinking too much. And then I just decided, like, okay, I don't want you drinking that much while you're here. I will apportion your drinks for you because you can't be trusted. So I put it all on a high shelf. And she spent most of the next day whining that she couldn't have any alcohol during the day.
Yeah.
So, Aiden, how goes your quitting drinking, by the way?
I've been in a really bad mood the last 2 days, so last 2 days not being so good. Other than that, it was getting better, and I don't drink during except for today. Today I did fuck up the first time in.
You don't drink on days that don't
9. Well, first time in 10 months I've drank during the day. But
and by the way, I should mention, it wasn't this that made Aiden upset enough to be drinking a lot in the last few days. It may have contributed, but this wasn't the thing that did it.
No, it wasn't it. That wasn't it. It had nothing to do with it, actually, at all.
Aiden, I'd like to draw your attention towards Nacho's most recent post.
See, he cares about you like daddy should. Ugh. I mean, you kind of did, though, to be fair. just put things up out of my reach like you were with a toddler.
There you go, chat. You now have a genuine voice sample of her saying the D word.
Why? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I hang out here?
It's a really good question, actually. It's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe this is, I don't think making whining sounds makes it better. I think you mean moaning sounds, maybe.
I have been in a fucking terrible mood all day, and I'm in a much better mood now.
Good. You're here with your friends, Aiden. You're getting some attention.
It's not no, it's just no, it's nice to hang out.
Mm-hmm. Chat, /support ooze your daddy. Spelt as Ghost just spelt it there. Kieran asks, what are friends? Maybe the real friends are the friends we made along the way.
We think so? No way.
Maybe. Abnormal fellow, please explain that. Is that your first message in chat?
Sorry,
what does that mean?
I got fucking stunlocked by reading that as well. It's what the fucking that's what that dead air was about. Was I think both of us just looked at that and got fucking confused.
It's a Sopranos meme. I haven't seen that. Yeah, Aiden, you and I have both developed a sense for which chat messages to read, and we both happen to zero in on the same one at the same time.
I mean, it's 20 years in the can. I wanted a manigot. I compromised. I ate the tissue off the radiator. I wanted to fuck a woman. I compromised. I jacked off into a grilled cheese. Yeah, how do you not? I mean, how do you not get fucking stunlocked by that? I mean, what how, you know?
I'm not even going to try and understand it. You posted once in live chat,
not Maginot. Yeah,
okay, so your second ever post in live chat was about jacking off. Thank you. Appreciate it. And you managed to avoid the topic earlier when that was acceptable. Waste of a perfectly good grilled cheese.
It was relevant. It was relevant.
Sure is. Right. Kieran says, if I donate at the end of the month, will you play this? What, are you asking me or Aiden?
From The Sopranos?
This clip is literally the entire stream point for point. Please play it. I will play it, but do consider, anyone, if you'd like to contribute, do consider contributing via these links, tip.oozly.net or fund.oozly.net. You can get Cabal credit for doing so. And even though the subscription Cabal credit is not currently coming in automatically, it will be retroactively applied when I get that set up properly. And it also does have a significant bonus. But if you tip live, you will get the credit straight away. Also, if you contribute with a significant amount on Subscribestar, then I'll give you it straight away, but it's a bit inaccurate right now. Anyway, let's look at this clip that you posted, which apparently is the whole stream.
The voters of Staines deserve better. You are making a mockery of this debate.
Reverb, echo.
It's only for you, Aiden, and us fix it.
Yeah, I know.
Is you looking in the mirror?
All you're doing is making it obvious to all the voters out there what an absolute buffoon you are.
Talking about yourself again? I think so, yeah.
You are an embarrassment to your party and to the people of Staines.
That is not a very nice way to talk about your mum.
I put it to you that you are the worst possible candidate ever put forward by your miserable party.
Well, I put it to you that you sucked off a horse.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That is more or less.
Stream, yeah. Which one of us
I've seen very little of the LG show.
Which one of us is Alig, and which one of us is Grand Moff Tarkin here on the right? I think that is him, isn't it? Isn't that Cushing's? It looks like him.
It does, yeah. Yeah, I do remember when Sacha Baron Cohen was funny.
It's been a long time since I've watched Borat.
It has. You know, I wonder if it's actually funny or not. I think that it was so of the era. Maybe. No one knew what the fuck Kazakhstan was.
I haven't watched much Alig except for Borat. Or Sacha Baron Cohen. Oh, you're right, Kieran, it is.
Alig. Okay, Alig, okay. I got it.
No, Kieran, you're correct. It is that actor. He's basically the modern day Cushing. Why the fuck didn't they just put him in Star Wars instead of fucking CGIing it to make it look like Cushing?
Because it's member berries. That's why. It's because it's all just fucking member berries. Also, talking about something else that fell off. Holy shit, South Park.
I haven't watched South Park in many years.
Nor have I.
Last time I watched it was still okay. But if you're going to watch South Park, chat, mark in your head where PC Principal appears, because before that is clearly the good era, and after that is questionable. Like, there are some good ones after that, but becomes questionable.
No, I haven't watched it, but I've seen clips and I've seen some bits of it. And yeah, I do agree with the PC Principal being the divider line.
PC Principal's not even a terrible character. He's not a bad idea. It's just that's when that division happened.
Their level of TDS, though, is clearly so insane. Like, I mean, the obvious comparison, the thing to evidence it, because they always say, oh no, South Park makes fun of everybody. They didn't make fun of Joe Biden. Or they didn't make fun of Kamala Harris, which is unbelievable. Like, how do you not make fun of Kamala Harris?
Yeah.
She was so mockable. How do you not make fun of the fact that Joe Biden was a senile old fart who shit his pants? Like, I mean, it was comedy gold, and for some reason, they didn't touch it. But what they do want to, what they have done extensively is make Trump gay with Satan and Saddam Hussein. And maybe Trump is gay with Satan, aka Bill Clinton. We'll have to see. Sounds like maybe. Maybe South Park was actually prophetic.
Yeah. Thank you for the contribution.
They knew something. They knew.
I have granted you your credit, and I'll read it out when it appears in live chat. It's obvious why they went in the direction they did. Money, says Nachos. I haven't, as I said, I haven't seen their stuff probably in the last 5 years, so I don't know how biased it was, but from what you're saying, sounds pretty fucking biased.
I mean, it's totally possible to survive very well by making a show that just panders exclusively to the left. It is possible. The problem that Hollywood ran into is that you cannot make every show and every movie appeal exclusively to the left and still expect to make money. But I mean, like back in the day, the Colbert Report and Jon Stewart on Comedy Central doing their comedy news shows that were very left-leaning. That was a different era in terms of how the left expressed itself. The left has not changed ideologically, because I can look at research on this, and I am, in terms of like the violent stuff. They've not changed, but the way that they have chosen to express it has become much more openly hostile and violent. Because it's always, when I am weak, I will, I'll act a certain way. When I'm strong, I will. Specifically, I will. I'll fucking engage in totalitarian bullshit.
Yeah, indeed. Don't you even invested anymore? Well, it's been more than 25 years now that South Park has existed, so it would make sense if they'd lost some passion for it. You don't tend to retain passion for something for 25 years, much less two people working together, retaining both passion and a good working relationship for 25 years through a world that's in significant political flux. That's practically unheard of.
To be fair.
There's a conspiracy theory with South Park is they're purposely tanking this season because they're very upset with the company and Paramount.
Wouldn't be surprising.
Basically dicking them around.
I mean, it seems like that is a possibility, because they have, besides, let's see, what happened this year? They didn't air one episode what happened with the episode they didn't air because of the Charlie Kirk killing? Look, I don't know what actually happened with that episode, but they didn't air one episode.
Let's think about this, though. If they are pissed off with the company, that's kind of, it's still not, the company probably did do something wrong. I wouldn't be surprised. But that's not, they don't get to just say, well, fuck you then. You can't force people to work unless they have agreed to it. They signed a contract and they got paid up front, almost certainly. Or they're about to be paid for it, or they still want it. You could try and void the contract. That's a whole different fucking thing. But if they've signed up for a contract, they did that acknowledging when they did it, okay, yeah, we'll be good to go for that. That'll be fine. With this big company that has a bad reputation, which of course all the big companies do, they're not being forced. They're not being whipped. You must do this. No, they're being paid a massive amount of money for something they agreed to do with a company they would know is a risk to work for, because they're selling away control over their show. I don't have that much sympathy. And if they're going to tank it, really all they're punishing is their own fans.
And I would be more want to believe that if they hadn't always had TDS. Because they started out with the Trump, so much of the Trump shit is old. Because remember, they had Mr. Garrison be a Trump analog for years. Yeah. I mean, they made Mr. Garrison the Trump analog, and that would have been like nearly 10 years ago now. They've been doing that for a long time. The only difference is that now they just have Trump directly in the show more often.
Oh, do they? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Well, as you can see here, I mean, he fucked Satan. I guess he fucked JD Vance. Yeah, that's and they give him like the same Saddam Hussein kind of voice, don't they? It's a little redo of Saddam. It's a literal redo of the Saddam jokes.
To be clear, and because I don't want people to get the wrong idea, because South Park have made a lot of funny stuff that offended people. I'm not offended. I don't mind them mocking whoever they want to. The question is just, what do they actually believe? Are they doing it like they used to, where they take someone who is either reviled by everyone in the West, like Saddam Hussein, and make him the subject of, like, he's just pure evil? Or are they taking someone who only half the country hates and the other half likes, and making him an object of ridicule? Which is still okay,
what they did
but if they then do it over and over and over and over again, it's still okay. It's no limit to comedy, and I'm not even offended. However, it does indicate a significant bias on their part, and that's all we're trying to get at there.
Yes. And you can go back through. I mean, like, okay, they would say, oh, but they made fun of Al Gore. But they made Al Gore into like a superhero. Al Gore is right in their fiction.
He is actually correct in their fiction.
Yes, Al Gore's correct. There is Man-Bear Pig, and he is a danger and a problem.
Yeah, they mocked him also for things that he had done. Also made up some stuff that's so ridiculous I won't ever believe it. They only brought him back for the Man-Bear Pig stuff. They didn't do anything too bad. I think he was only in for a few episodes. The only other character they had...
They made him correct.
Yeah, well, that's true. The only other character they had fornicating with Satan was Saddam Hussein. I think Hitler might have been there as well, but that's about it.
Yeah, I think so. Probably Hitler.
Now, Trump is literally the president who the majority of the voters, at least by the way the voting system works, voted for. And it was the majority because it was
won the popular vote.
Yeah, it was popular vote.
He won the popular vote.
Majority
so
of people
he won both. Yeah.
So they're going to go ahead and
I don't know right now, but
rail on him consistently. So it's it does certainly indicate that it's not just here's a figure of mockery, because there's definitely things, even whether we're exaggerating or not, there's definitely valid things to mock Trump for. Just from what he does by default, and from the extended mockery they can do by making some funny shit up. There's definitely avenues there.
Well,
and him being such a popular figure, you would expect more than just 3 or 4 episodes across several seasons, like what Al Gore got. You'd expect maybe 3 or 4 episodes per season. Okay, that's still all right. But if he's the object of mockery in every single one, never does anything right, never correct about anything, and he's then depicted having sex with Satan, it does start to indicate that it's not just here's a funny object for mockery. It's here's someone that we as the creators personally hate and will use our show to try to destroy, which is a different thing.
It's a problem. It's a problem with humor writing, and there, as far as I know, there's no research on this, but it seems to be a commonly expressed idea, and I wish there was literature on this, but the problem is that humor research in general is woefully underexplored. Is that I think that if you hate the subject of your comedy, I think it's very difficult to be funny about it, because you're incapable of being in any way objective and being able to see the things that actually are funny. Because it's like the right makes fun. The J.D. Vance, Jerry Kroll meme, the fat J.D. Vance thing, is a perfect example of this. The left originally created that meme, and then the right went, "Oh my God, that's great. That's really funny." And they found ways to elevate it and keep going with it, and make it even increasingly funnier. I would say it's maybe a little played out now, but it was the right that totally embraced that, because it was J.D. Vance kind of looks weird a little bit, like in some of these photos or whatever, and let's just make him fatter and make him more awkward. And I think that the problem is if you really, really hate somebody, you can't make fun of them properly, because you can't see the things that other people who don't already inherently hate them might find funny about them. It's like with an A-log of some locale, right? The original, like the true A-logs of Christian were not funny about it. It's just vicious and cruel, and people do not find that amusing, because it's not. It doesn't come from a place of humor. You're not actually laughing. The person making it isn't laughing. They're fucking masturbating furiously in rage over it, and it comes off that way. It's evident.
This is another thing. I'm very surprised they're just using a photo of his face. Every other time they featured a celebrity, as far as I recall, there may have been once or twice they actually used a photograph of their face, but I don't think it was ever in the early seasons. Maybe Saddam,
They did use a photo of Saddam, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
So,
but every other celebrity they always just animated them in their own style.
Typically, yeah. I mean, like Paris Hilton, for example. That's just a very a very funny one that comes to mind. But yeah, typically they always
did it in their own style.
Yeah, rather than just, and I think it's unusual too to have it both be Trump and JD as photos, albeit an edited photo of JD Vance, but still, I mean, their contempt is obvious prima facie. And when you can tell that a joke doesn't come from a place of levity, but from a place of contempt, well, it's not very funny. It's funny to a specific audience. It's funny to people who also agree with you, but it's not funny outside of that. There's not my advisor, but a woman who I studied under and at my graduate institution developed it has almost all of the like actual interesting research on humor and how humor works. Because like I said, it's a deeply uninvestigated area of research. But look, to be funny, basically, there's a lot of ways to be funny, but it needs to be true. There needs to be a sliver of truth to it. It has to be an uncomfortable, and usually an uncomfortable truth. Not in every case, but it is something that aids towards a certain type of humor. Is an uncomfortable truth or a truth that you're not supposed to really say in polite society, right? In polite company. And that is, why people like Dave Chappelle, for example, are so famous for their comedy or have been in the past is telling the truth and being honest about it. But because it's in this magic circle of the stand-up context, you're allowed to be extra honest, essentially, because it's a joke.
Yeah.
Stooge McDuck. It was a woman and her husband. They were a couple duo. Melanie Booth Butterfield.
That sounds like a South Park character. The kind of people who like this don't like comedy. They just like this shit to reinforce their worldview. So you don't have to be funny. You just have to be vicious.
Yes.
And viciousness without comedy just looks small penis, among other things. It looks
it's
just like an emotional outburst.
It's evident in the lefty meme format as well, right?
Yeah.
I wrote a long post about this. I was reading an article, and that was actually quite interesting. I'm sure I don't have it anymore, but I was reading this interesting article about leftist humor and memes and stuff, and I left a really long comment on it. But one of the things that I said was, it's funny to you and people who agree with you to just be vicious and cruel with it being totally divorced from reality. That's very fun for your in group because it's like. Because you're all in on the joke, right?
Exactly.
And in jokes can be very funny. The problem is that in jokes are inherently unfunny to anyone who is not in the in group.
Yeah. And they didn't used to be, apparently, part of a bubble of beliefs that excluded a large portion of the rest of the public, but now they seem to be. And so it's funny to the people around them. No one in the studio questions this kind of writing.
Of course, because they all agree.
But half the public is totally turned off by it. It's not that half the public are offended. It's that it's genuinely not funny. But it's pleasing
you're
to
triggered.
people that are in the It's pleasing to people that are in the group.
I'm not triggered.
No. I don't get triggered by comedy. And to be fair, I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But other people have told me it is that way, and I will at some point
the clips of it I've seen
look at it.
Were boring. They were, and look, I'll bring up a Big Bungie again, who does the Trump impression. I love making fun of Trump. He is very mockable. I mean, like, holy shit, he's so mockable. But for whatever reason, the left cannot find the things about Trump that are actually funny, because then they'd have to like give some sort of attention to the things he actually says, to his actual positions in politics. And they cannot be in good faith, essentially, about it. They have to be just vicious and accusatory and attacking. So they cannot have fun with it, which means inherently it can't be fun if you can't have fun with it.
So Kira makes a good point as well. They went hard on Bush, light on Obama, hard on Trump, light on Biden, then recycled Saddam joke on repeat for Trump term 2. He says, I don't mind the biased mockery, but I do mind the lack of originality and effort. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, the fact that this is a recycle of a joke from 20 years ago, put that into perspective. I mean, I know they've been on the air for 30 years, but like, yeah, this is a joke that you were famous for and that got you a lot of attention and was edgy 20 years ago. Yeah. Now, I can tell you something from Booth Butterfield's research, which is that if a joke is old, it's not funny. Actually, that wasn't her study. It was the study on it was a study on the perceived comedy and the perceived funniness of tweets made before, during, and after the landfall of Hurricane Sandy.
Let's ask you one thing, actually, chat. Do you think this was written by a leftist or a right-winger?
Oh, by a right-winger.
Obviously by a right-winger.
Yeah.
Because the left can't meme. Because the left wouldn't want to write, yeah, Trump did suck off Bill and write it as a joke. They, one, would believe he would, except that he's not worthy of Bill's cock. So, they would want to believe the worst possible thing about Trump. This isn't bad enough. And because they would be totally fucking serious at best if writing this, they wouldn't be able to make it funny. They wouldn't be able to add the unexpected twist that a joke needs.
They can't. The problem with the left is that they and that the right actually, I think personally, maybe needs to learn from both learn from as in terms of strategy and learn from to do shit within its own side to clean house. Is that leftist humor is bogged down in so many layers of virtue signaling or in-group signaling. So when you read a leftist meme, why it doesn't work is because there needs to be this first premising of the joke of, hello, I am on your side. I agree with you. Yes. And that kind of stuff, which inherently takes the humor out of it, because what one aspect of humor that is required, again, see Booth Butterfield's research, is it has to be unexpected to a certain extent.
It also limits the scope.
Humor, but typically.
The things that you're allowed to do that would still be coherent with your team is narrower than on the right, where there's very little you have to do to demonstrate adherence, almost none at all. Really, the entire field of possibilities for humor is open for most on the right.
Yeah.
But on the left, it's a very narrow, it's much like merit. The reason merit suffers on the left, they're not deliberately, I'll be careful with how I word this, they're not seeking people who are unmeritocratic for that reason. They are not seeking for people who are bad at the job. They are seeking for people that have other traits. And because they're narrowing their field,
ideologues. Yes.
Well, that too, because they're narrowing their field of options, that field contains less people who are meritocratic. Either they're narrowing it by race or gender or by ideological adherence or by something else. Because it's narrower, there's less space for merit. What the right is suggesting is just get rid of those narrowings. Just make it open to everyone, but then select the highest merit person.
But the problem is that we find that the inability for the left to meme is universal. I mean that it goes down to individual small scale memes. Like they cannot meme on the internet level, and so they cannot also be funny on a broader scale. And I think part of that, a large portion of it, is that they cannot tell the truth. And if you can't tell the truth, then again I bring up Dave Chappelle because he's a great example of it. Telling the truth, a harsh truth, an uncomfortable truth, is funny in a comedic context. When you're in this, Johan Huizinga is talking about games in particular, the magic circle of games, and he means like chess or hopscotch or whatever. But there's also all kinds of magic circles in society more broadly, and there's a magic circle drawn around comedy. I have been like dying to study this for years because there is when you are in a comedy club, when you're in a comedic setting, it is different than when you were in a non-comedic setting, like when you're not anticipating something to be a joke. So someone can say something very offensive and insane, or that would be very offensive and insane if it was not said in a comedic setting in a comedy club. And that's part of the magic circle of comedy. We are all agreeing that like we're putting away social mores for a little bit to experience the funny. That is the power of comedy, is because it exists in that magic circle. But like I said, what leftist comedy's problem is that it cannot buck social norms because they have to adhere to all of them, including a bunch of falsities. So, and therefore it cannot tell the truth. And if it can't tell the truth, it can't be funny. Anyway, there's my theory of humor web, which I spent a hell of a lot of time thinking about. Because again, one of the people who was a professor at my institution was literally like the founder of humor studies.
I bet he was a laugh riot.
I never met her husband, but I did meet Melanie. She taught a few classes that I was in.
Fair enough. Yes, that's also true, Busak. Genuinely intelligent and insightful commentary from Busak in chat, as per usual. Also, thank you, Britwit, who says, brevity is the soul of wit. Hamlet Act 2, Scene 2, Shakespeare. I actually did not know that was from Shakespeare.
Yes.
Yeah, that definitely works. The more you can do with less. It's the same principle with trolling. It's about putting in less effort than the opponent by doing something that takes little effort and then inducing a huge amount of effort from them.
Well, it's the classic meme of the leftist paragraph that you can't even read. And it's like left-wing meme, and then it's right-wing meme. It just says "lol nigs" bottom text.
Yes, because the fact that it's so low effort and that it's so irreverent to some people, i.e. the truth being you should be able to say this, but these people don't let you.
Yeah,
it's funny enough. That's enough to make it funny.
Yeah, it's called an expectancy violation.
Sure.
In the literature.
Sure, that could work. True, Busak. You know what? Both work. Busak, they're demonstrating for us that just saying fucking niggers is funny on its own.
Because you're not supposed to say it. Yeah. That's why it's funny. Like, so many people who say racial slurs or bigoted terms or whatever, it is, I mean, maybe it's because they are truly racist or bigoted, but I have found the vast majority of the time, it's because they're not supposed to say it, and therefore that makes it inherently kind of funny. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're not supposed to say that. Oh, you get in trouble.
Took says I want to rewatch Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf's okay. Not one of my favorites. There's much better ones.
I love Red Dwarf.
Blackadder, you know I like, but there's lots of others too.
I'm surprised you don't like Red Dwarf more. You prefer Blackadder over Red Dwarf.
Definitely.
Because it's in space. It's a little Star Trek-y, you know?
Yeah, it being in space is cool, but I think if it's like low budget space from any time before the 90s, it loses a lot of the appeal.
Red Dwarf's the 90s, isn't it?
I think it's 80s and then into the 90s, but it's still low budget. I mean, I guess like if it's low budget space from earlier than maybe any time.
It is. I thought it was newer than it is. Fuck.
No, I think it may have continued into the 90s, and it's still fucking going as of a few years ago. They still made some, but I don't know I don't remember if that was any good.
Doctor Who, I don't think is going to.
No, Doctor Who ended at the end of the Capaldi era.
Well, I mean, what the shambling corpse that has been continuing to walk the earth, I think also may not, because Disney pulled out their money.
You know, I'm kind of glad. Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Sherlock, they didn't try to continue that.
Oh yeah,
because that would have been terrible. It was already getting there at the end. I remember it was getting
very stuff. Bad and very gay. Well, they played into that because I mean, I guess it made sense to them to a certain extent because the fan base was so heavily women who wanted Sherlock and Watson to fuck. And by the way, as I mentioned, I think before, there's a long history of that. There is some credible evidence that the first fan fictions, as we know them in the modern day understanding of a fan fiction, were Sherlock Holmes fan fictions they were passed around in women's magazines in the late 1800s. You know, or not magazines,
Kieran,
but letters of correspondence. You know,
Kieran, I do understand that. I think just this is a very specific point I was making to what Aidan was saying about the appeal of it being like Star Trek. I wouldn't like sci-fi unless it makes some effort to represent it as believable futurism. And Red Dwarf was not, and it was for comedy purposes, and that's fine. But that means that the sci-fi aspect of it doesn't appeal to me. That's all I was trying to say.
Did you watch the Orville? Did you watch that?
Yes, Orville was pretty good. Actually, I must re-watch season 3 of the Orville. Because season 3 of The Orville was fantastic up until the last episode.
I've only seen a little bit of it. I liked what I saw, though.
Season 3 of The Orville was some of the best Star Trek ever made up until the last episode.
I think maybe you have told me this then before. I was pretty sure you had seen it, but I couldn't remember.
We definitely should. If you haven't, have you seen season 3 of The Orville?
I've only seen a little bit. I've only seen a couple random episodes of it.
We should watch it. It's very good.
Sure. For sure.
It's very good. The season 1 and 2 is sort of slow and a bit what would you say, like somewhat predictable. It's trying to be a comedy show because it's Seth MacFarlane, but the comedy it's fine, but it's not great. They shouldn't have focused so much on it. So season 1 and 2 are pretty good. It's better than any Star Trek that was being made at the time. But season 3, they decided, okay, you know what? Put the comedy on the back burner. Let's just make good Star Trek. And as it turns out, they can make brilliant Star Trek. Much like TNG really had like a very prototypical era in series 1 and 2. There's some good episodes, but it was pretty weak. Series 3, it fucking takes off and is really good. Same thing with the Orville, but unfortunately, I don't know if they're being given a chance to continue that into season 4. We'll see.
Is it still going?
I think. Well, I don't know. Actually, it may have been cancelled. I can't remember. I think they were significantly delayed by COVID, but they should be able to release more now.
That's been a while then, though.
Yeah, it has been a while.
That's been 5 years, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I
probably
hope
not
that they're
on.
still going, but it sounds like maybe not. We also should watch Strange New Worlds because Wes and I watched it a couple of years ago, and it's a new trek from the official source. However, about 3 to 5 of the episodes in the first series of about 12 are really good, like better than TNG and Voyager or DS9 or whatever you like. It's really good, and then the rest of them are either or dog shit and fun to mock. So we should definitely watch Strange New Worlds again in Cabal.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
I mean, you should make a couple episodes of it. So yeah.
To chat, press 1 if we should just
Wait, no,
make
Stranger Worlds.
2026.
That wasn't Stranger Worlds. What's it called? That was the
Chat,
Banana.
Chat, press 1 if we should just make
Continues.
2026 the year of the sci-fi in Cabal. Star Trek continues.
Okay, you got to watch Stargate then.
Sure.
I still can't believe you've
Sure,
not seen Stargate.
we
That's
can watch
unbelievable.
Stargate, but you should be the one to stream it.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know if you'll be able to do that while you're doing other stuff, but if you can, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah,
Also,
I should be able to
says
do it while I'm
Firefly.
editing or whatever. But yeah, I first of all, I think you will really, really like Stargate.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some of these on the list.
It's fantastic.
So Star Trek Continues is already on there.
SG1,
Orville,
SG1. We get to Atlantis later, but SG1.
Particularly 3, and then Stargate.
Yeah, that's the thing, G. If people are not prepared for how based Stargate is. It is such a based show. It is held up so well. I mean, some of the CGI, of course, from the 90s, you know, it's not fantastic, but really, I think it still looks great. Other sci-fi shows to watch? If someone brought up Nacho said Battlestar Galactica. Battlestar Galactica is fantastic. Let's see.
I watched a little bit of one of the Battlestar Galactica series, and I didn't like it that much. But I wouldn't mind trying it again.
The
I guess
2000 series is okay.
But what was the other things that we just mentioned? I mean, the whole idea of just going through Firefly. Thank you. That's probably already on the list. Actually, we did intend to watch that a while ago, but didn't get very far through it. What we should do, it's already
Babylon
on there.
5 is fantastic, but it is a bit dry.
What we should do is we should just watch through Star Trek. We should just go maybe even from the start all of TOS, because I still haven't seen all of DS9, and TOS is surprisingly good. TOS because it's just
fantastic.
The writing. It's very dated, and there are some episodes that are misses, but the writing on some is very good.
Yeah. I think the thing with TOS is that for my whole life, it has moved into charming. So even though, it's very dated, but it's charming.
Sure.
I think at least. That's why it's my favorite series. It always has been since I was a little kid.
Yeah. We could also bestow the glory of Voyager upon everyone.
Oh, yes, definitely watch Voyager. Except for we got to make sure that you don't watch the episode that doesn't exist, right?
Series 2 had less episodes than the other series. I'm not sure why. It just had one less episode.
Yeah, there's one missing for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Was it in series 2?
Yes.
The thing that doesn't exist. Yeah.
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 I guess it must have just crossed the threshold of not existing.
It crosses the threshold in a non-X sense.
Yeah. Chat. Is this a news show? I think. Chat. Is this? Should we news? Is this a news show?
News. Oh my god! We got on for what? An hour? 2 hours?
Not an hour.
And not done 2 hours. Holy shit!
We're still in the meme section. News. Who cares? Wow, to back to nerd shit.
Yeah, news? Question mark? Burgers?
Alleged news as usual, says Blindfire. Oh, I hear you mention buggers. I once turned my potato waff into a bugger. And ate it.
I'm gonna,
Lady Eden Paladin. I hear my good friend Uzalu is making merry with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have you seen my son? He is Delmo Pepsi.
Wow, he looks high IQ, JF.
Exactly.
I can tell that he is the product of your seed.
As a genius eugenicist myself, I've bred with only the smartest, or should I say, most submissive women who were made 100% of potato. And he was the result. He will be a genius. Have you heard his musical talent?
I have. I heard the grunt rap.
He shall take the world by storm.
I think he will. He's pretty high up in the world already. Aiden Ross is head mod.
This is
Very
just
impressive.
the beginning of his potential.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I really hope he joins because, oh wowee, will that be fun?
I would like to talk to him again. For some reason, none of my children ever wish to speak to me. I don't know why.
Well, they can't. They're too retarded.
It may have something to do with the fact that I may have slightly misplaced his mother. She did it deliberately to ruin my kill streak. I mean, my breeding
unironically,
streak.
though, one of the things that was included in that description of the absolute fucking state of JF's household is the children can't speak English or French. They have an extremely limited vocabulary because I don't know. I would imagine. I don't know this either. These are reports from.
I'm working on getting them acquainted with telepathic communication. I feel that will be more efficient.
He probably thinks that they don't need to have don't need to learn language. They're so high IQ or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, he thinks of himself as Genghis Khan. He just wants to have as many children as possible. He doesn't really care what they do after that.
Which is so fucked. I mean, that is okay. JF, which I know he doesn't watch this, but he probably fucking should get ribbed on this. That is extremely low IQ behavior not get to just basically abandon your children the second that they're born because of their high
breeding
IQ
strategy.
genetics.
So you got R-type and K-type. K-type is when you have fewer offspring and you pay more attention to them.
Yes.
R-type is when you have many offspring and pay little attention to them. Do you know what else is? Humans are K-type. There's some humans that are slightly closer to R-type, but we are K-type. Do you know what is R-type, JF? You know what's R-type, JF?
A rabbit.
Rats.
Yeah, rats, rabbits, bacteria, all kinds of species that you consider to be prey animals are because
But that's how I remember
it. The easy way to understand it too is R-type is spray and pray, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have as many offspring as possible in the hopes that some of them will survive to maturity and pass on their DNA. K-type is only a few offspring because it takes a very long time to gestate, a very long time for them to reach maturity, and it is a lot of parental investment inherently because you only get a couple to do that with in order to raise. And so it's a different reproductive strategy.
To be clear, technically, all humans are K-type.
Yes.
You could
because
act R-type by just literally abandoning the child, but that's the closest you could get.
It won't
However,
work.
whilst all humans are within K-type, rather than within R-type, some humans are definitely closer to the R-type side of the K-type category. So yes, you could say India is R-type, but they're not actually R-type. They're K-type, but closer to R-type. In the West, we are much more close to the extreme of K-type.
Just looking within the animal kingdom, right? The typical graph of it goes from, again, animal, and let's specifically mammalian class, from rabbits who are R-type to wolves, which are K-type. So pack animals. Or elephants, for example, also are a K-type species because it takes them a very long time to produce offspring. It's difficult for them to have offspring comparatively to rabbits, for example. And it is just, again, spray and pray versus investment. Yeah.
And you may think, therefore, K-type is the correct answer, but there are many more bacteria than humans, and they're R-type. So, different strokes for different folks, but it may be that for a complex organism, K-type is better. Yes, that may be the case. Yes, Took, that's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, and that's why we find higher intelligence in the K-type species. They have to develop higher intelligence to cope with the fact that their offspring takes so much longer to develop. And these things go hand in hand. So the intelligence develops as the case selection also develops.
Yeah.
Or so it would seem, right?
Yeah. I pray every night and I spray when I can.
Thanks.
Pray to me.
Yeah, octopi are strange and weird, and there's a little bit of outliers on, like, whenever you have stuff like that, there will be outliers. It's not a universalist tendency. That's something I used to get in trouble for. I still sometimes have brought up our case selection theory, and it's one of those things where if somebody hears that, and they think they've been told that that's like a Nazi idea, they have a complete spurg out, even though it is a completely accepted and normative idea within the physical sciences. You know, but like for some reason, when you apply it to humans, people have a fucking meltdown, much like IQ, or the idea of intelligence, right?
And race as well.
And the idea of race inherently also is you know, oh look, this dog's breed is kind of dumb. We all accept that you know, these dogs are dumb and these dogs are very clever. But for some reason, we can't accept that when it comes to humans. I wonder why.
A portion of the right, like, okay, the left pretends to be in favor of science, but doesn't actually believe in all of evolution. They just carve out this big chunk of evolution. The right, on the other hand, doesn't make such big proclamations of being in favor of science. But whilst a lot of them do believe in all of evolution, a portion of them believe in none of evolution. So I'm sitting here in the middle thinking, holy shit, can we just accept that this is real? No matter what side of the culture I end up on, I'm arguing, yes, evolution is real. Yes, all of it. No, you don't get to just ignore that part. Yes, all of it is real. And you don't worship it like a religion, but it is still real.
I even made a comment on Twitter. I was in a really bad mood earlier today, so I made some kind of rude comments on Twitter, but they weren't all rude. I was just trying to not crash out. And even that I said something about how, as I've said before, is that I think that evolution actually, in my opinion, and in the opinion of many evolutionary theorists, early evolutionary theorists specifically, is evidence of God. Is evidence of how can this be so perfect and uniform and it's what's the right word for it exactly? It's elegant, like an equation. It's elegant.
I think it's something much more profound than that. But the point you're making, I think, is that it's compatible with religion. Yeah, there's no problem with that. People don't have to disbelieve in it just because they're religious. If I did believe in God, I would also believe that he was, took great credit for this amazing system, but not that he'd guided it, because it works without guidance. That's the whole wonder of it.
It doesn't really matter.
Asking, have I used the JF voice on Aiden's mum?
He has not talked to my mom.
Hello, Lady Aiden's mum. Would you like to become? No, I'm not going to go that way. Actually, we'll test that idea later.
You're going to workshop this a little bit.
We'll workshop that later. Yeah.
You want me to give you some insights?
I mean, details.
I can tell you that doing the French accent is a downgrade for her.
Yes, that's true. I mean, it should be for everyone. You hear that, JF?
Well, true.
You hear that? Kieran says, if this is a god, then he flicked a pebble off a mountain and is watching the ensuing avalanche passively. Well, that's sort of the idea, yeah. The only place that we don't know enough to say that there could be a god there is the creation of the universe, which I have argued that you don't need a god there, and there's many good ways that you could argue that. However,
but
it is still
I come back to that as well,
an area of such intense unknown that you could insert a god there if you wanted to without it ruining anything. Evolution doesn't require one. Abiogenesis, there's loads of good ways that could have happened without a god. Of course, you could insert one there, but there's no reason to. There's loads of good theories of how that could have happened without a god. There's even practical demonstrations.
My perspective on that is that I see God, and again, my perspective as the great scientist, and this is all a big experiment. I mean, it is described as such, really. It's like God's just kind of sitting around. It's like, you know what? Let there be light. Let there be things. It's a blank, empty universe that is just full of his glory and his angels and those who are devoted to him. But that's not enough. Let's just start an experiment to see what happens. For me, I see God as again, the great scientist.
It is still weird to me that you're religious. Anyway,
why? Because I'm
thank you to Aiden's mum, who says marriage is off, French accent is a deal breaker. Don't worry, the French accent is optional. Right. Continuing. Let's look at some
what are we doing?
news, shall we? And I think we should probably start with the actual big news, otherwise we'll fucking forget to do it. So where did I put it? Here we go. In a leaked email, the brother of Jeffrey Epstein, Mark Epstein, asks if Vladimir Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Bill Clinton has been known as Bubba. So here's the email chain. I'm going to read it in reverse order because that's the chronological order when you read an email chain like this. So Mark Epstein wrote, "How are you doing? A while back you mentioned that you were pre-diabetic. Has anything changed with that? What is your boy Donald up to now?" And then Jeffrey responds to him and says, "All good, Bannon with me." Bannon, does that mean fucking
Steve Bannon? Clearly.
I mean, I guess so,
Yeah.
but I didn't know they were associated. These emails were from 2018,
apparently.
by the way.
Steve Bannon, I believe, has flown on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, I
interesting.
think.
Okay. And then Mark Epstein...
I don't take my word for that, but I think he has.
Okay. Mark Epstein wrote in response, "Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba." And then...
So, yeah.
Then Mark Epstein says, "You and your boy Donnie can make a remake of the movie Get Hard. I thought I had Suris. I'm not sure what that is. And then you mean Donnie T. I don't know what the rest of these mean. I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. All the rest of this doesn't make any sense to me. But this is obviously the bit that people are concerned about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. They're making fun of him.
So
But,
the mention of Bannon, the Suris, I don't know what that means either.
I don't know either.
The Donnie stuff, that's all a bit mysterious. But the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. Now, there's many questions to be asked here. Firstly, who's Bubba?
Means,
could be Bill.
How do I not know?
Secondly,
oh my God.
Putin. The mention of Putin is extremely fucking suspicious. Thirdly, just asking straight up about photos is extremely fucking suspicious. One thing I will mention. Go on, Aiden.
My dude, Suris is a Yiddish word for problems, difficulties, or trouble. It's Yiddish.
Okay.
So it's a Jew word.
Okay.
Jew word.
There was some questions in the comments of this saying, well, look, the text is they say green, it's blue, and it's in a totally different font. You can tell it's fake. Let me tell you something. No,
that's how emails show up.
Aiden. Wait. This is Calibri, the default Microsoft Office font. And it's in a color which I think is also a default in some sort of app. Now, the font used for the rest of this, for the rest of the body font here is Aiden.
Times New Roman.
Yes, it is. So that will be the default for something. And the font for the font here, as you can see, what's this font for all this?
Arial.
No.
Is that not Arial? What is it?
No, it's not Arial.
What is that?
There's a clue at the top of the page. Not Courier.
What is it?
I can tell you exactly what it is.
Yeah, sure.
Finally, my font autism coming in handy. This is also Calibri.
Yeah, you're more a font autist.
This is also Calibri. Yeah, this is the default Microsoft Office font, which means they are using Office here, which explains why this would be in Calibri. And it's also not the only place on the page you find this Calibri. It's also here at the top.
Has no one ever fucking sent email chains back and forth? People have different settings on their fucking email.
It just depends on what device he was on. So if he was on his desktop, for example, when he sent it in the blue Calibri, but then in other emails that he himself sent, it says here, sent via tin can and string. That's a joke that they've used to replace the iPhone thing, but I imagine that that's something you can just customize. So that's probably something he's customized, which is because he's sending it on his phone, he switched it to say that instead of iPhone. So that was from his phone. The fucking Times New Roman one was from his phone, and then this one was from his PC or something else that has Office on it.
Yeah.
So that's not suspicious as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Well, the sent via tin can and string thing, because too, when you send emails, and you have, to be fair, I think he actually typed that to show that, because when you have a not a header, what's it called, a
subject,
it's the bottom of the text, the bottom of the message.
Oh, the
footer,
quote,
the footer,
the quote of the previous message.
Well, the footer. So like. No, the footer, because like you can change that. So on my old email address, it says, my name, and the department I worked at the university at the time on my old email. And I keep fucking up because sometimes I'll send people emails from that address and it still has like my old phone number and my office at the university.
Signature.
I'm like, oh
That's
shit,
what you mean.
I forgot the signature. So, but it shows up a little differently usually. So I think he actually typed that. Maybe not. It's that part's totally normal. And if anyone thinks that's weird, that part of it, that the font and the color of the font is different, that's just indicative that, I don't know, have you never received a fucking email from anyone before?
Yeah, that's fairly, I think I've had emails in that style. Either way, the formatting is not suspicious. What is suspicious to me, I mean, as like people in chat sort of jumping the gun to what I'm, to the rate at which I'm going through this, it's a screenshot. This whole thing could be completely fake.
Yes.
And more importantly, it's, what would a leftist write? If this had said something completely unrelated, what would a leftist write?
It sounds like a joke
They'd
to me.
include fucking Putin. They'd include the notion that Putin has something over on Trump. So look, could it be true? Yes.
You
but is
understand
it exactly what they'd write if it was fake?
But
yes.
Look at the date though. March 21st, 2018. This is after Russiagate.
Yes. It's also after he'd been president for several years.
This means it was after the idea of Trump, and remember what Trump was accused of doing in Russiagate was Putin having all of this blackmail on Trump, fucking hookers and pissing on them, or he was getting pissed on or something, really like all kinds of lascivious, gross shit. And so this to me does sound like a joke, a leftoid joke at the time of, ask Putin if he's got photos of blowing Bill Clinton. That's a joke. Even
if it's real, it very well could be a joke.
And then I thought I had problems. Is the response? They're talking about Trump. They are talking about Russiagate, and I thought I had problems. Trump's got big problems because of Russiagate, is what this is very clearly to me. I don't know. I don't know how pedophiles joke amongst each other, but whatever.
Yeah. This was in the midst of Russiagate, arguably at its peak as well.
Yes, it was.
Its peak was probably more 2016, but this was still within it before the mainstream press admitted it was wise. I think.
Yeah. This is peak Russiagate kind of territory.
So they're probably just speculating on
Russiagate start. Let's look up.
Would they prefer this? Well, it started before he was even elected because it was Hillary's op research. But they're speculating here on what they wish existed, I think. So you shouldn't necessarily take this seriously. Now, I want to put some balance on here, because if it was real, what would my reaction be? My reaction would be, it's the 90s. He was part of these elite circles. It's believable that he would do some sort of humiliation ritual. Now, blowing Bill Clinton is unlikely, but not impossible. You mentioned it in the fact that he's a germaphobe. So it's one of the last things he'd want to do. But it's still not impossible that someone in those circles would do that. Trump also has a tendency of getting through the world and being quite successful without giving anything up, without doing anything immoral. He's done some things that are immoral, some minor deception, but he hasn't done anything that's like horribly illegal. He hasn't done anything grossly unethical that I've seen.
Well, it depends on who you ask, but no, not in reality.
He's done some close to the line stuff. There's some stuff that is arguably a scam that I've seen, but he's always got away with it. It's never been bad enough for him to go down for it. And him being made to do this in order to be successful, it doesn't ring that true. But maybe it is true. What would that mean? It would certainly reduce his credibility, but it wouldn't reduce the quality of the things he's already done, though he's done some other bad things. However, what it would do is it would make sense of the whole Epstein thing, which is why this is actually somewhat believable. It would make sense of it because, no one believes no one sensible believes he's a pedophile. There's no evidence that he has been. There's none of the records seem to imply it. But this is something that would be in the files, that wouldn't be illegal, that the left might not want to use against him. Might not, though that's another question. Surely they would at some point.
Why do you think the left also wanted these files hidden,
also explain why he doesn't want them revealed and why he wants everyone to shut up about it, because he probably would love to for the pedophiles to face consequences. I don't think he has any sympathy for them, but if he does that, either they will release what they have on him as leverage, or it'll have to come out as part of the release anyway. So that's why it's somewhat believable.
And if that's what it is actually a quite believable hypothesis. Whether or not it's true is up for debate. But it certainly makes sense that is this why he didn't want the Epstein files to come out? Not because he's a pedophile, but because there's implications that he sucked off Bill Clinton. And again, out of the two, I would much rather the allegation be he sucked off Bill Clinton than he molested children every day of the week, you know?
Indeed. Melchizedek says, germaphobe, I don't believe that. He did fuck Stormy Daniels, the porn star. Wasn't she like a really high-class hooker, though? Wasn't that the whole point?
She was a porn star. I mean, an actual porn star, not an OnlyFans model. You get my drift? Like this woman, I mean, and I don't know if he actually fucked her or not, but that, I mean, Trump was very open and honest about him being a playboy and about, I mean, and there's stuff that Trump has done in the pursuit of that playboy lifestyle, like in all of the pageants that he owns, for example, that I find personally morally reprehensible. But because some of those pageants are like for teens, and I do not like that stuff. I think that, look, I mean, my libertarian side says, I don't want to say things should be illegal, but I kind of think that teen beauty pageants are sickening. You know what I mean? That's an idea.
That's something that even libertarians would agree is like pedophilia is pretty much globally acknowledged. Yeah, well, if you've got some,
that's why I don't identify as a libertarian anymore, man.
Well, libertarian doesn't have to mean like to the extent of ANCAP.
No, but there's, but
even minarchists.
No, but there's a bunch of Lolberts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually call myself more of a minarchist than a libertarian, but still,
just so you know,
there's
17.
You know that there's that certain stripe of libertarians that are just pedophiles.
Sure. 17 people voted that Aiden's mum was being serious. One person voted that she wasn't being serious, that she was joking. Among the people that voted that she was being serious was Bill.
No! Bill, you bastard! You voted that my mother was being serious? You voted that my mother's texts were serious and sincere?
Yeah,
he says he made a professional call.
Let me get you a non-doctored screenshot here.
Oh my god.
Actually, he isn't doctored.
Oh my god. No, Bill, why? Betrayal! Betrayal! No! No!
Yeah.
How will I ever recover from this, to be honest?
Yeah,
I gotta go think
we'll
about
have to
some
figure
things.
it out.
I'll be right back. I have to go think about, by that I actually mean I have to go get a drink.
Okay.
Use the restroom. Be right back.
All right. Buying Oozlu a nice Father's Day present. Yeah, I'll contact you next Father's Day. One sec, chat. Watch out, Bill. She's coming for you. That's true. Aiden's coming for Bill, and Aiden's mum is coming for me. Never mind. Payback for the Oozlu trunk debacle. How is that payback? Payback? What do you mean? Who's being paid back? Oh, right. Bill is paying Aiden back for having to see that. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Kieran. My eyes, says the Took. Yep. Nachos, do you believe in the accuracy of the proportions of that picture? You don't have to answer that. In fact, probably don't answer that. Get that off my screen. She says no, she says. Oh, yeah, because the socks. Yeah, no, I wouldn't wear the socks. The rest of it, though. The rest of it's pretty spot. Delete server. Ghost says, come on, man, at least tag Bill. You're not thick, says Nachos. What, you mean the thighs? I guess that's the only other thing that maybe isn't accurate is the thick thighs. I am sort of Adonis-like, yeah, with the extreme musculature. Literally the stinky sausage all over again, says Ghost. It's not as bad as the stinky sausage, however, it is more visual than the stinky sausage. Aiden, don't ask what the stinky sausage is. I think you already know, actually. Knowing you probably knew before we even said it in Cabal. I know Aiden's gone, but she's still useful as a stand-in. Anyway, I think we were talking about something, serious in the news. Anyway, Trump blowing Bubba. Yeah, I've seen people saying of all the things that never happened, this never happened the most, and I definitely see where they're coming from. The only reason this seems like it could be true is because it would explain things. It would explain what we've seen. However, it didn't happen. Let's just be honest. It's not true. With like 85% certainty, it's not true. Maybe 90. But there is that range of where it's possible, specifically because of the situation at the time. Is plausible that someone in his position could have done that, though maybe not him. And it would also explain why he's hiding the Epstein files, but probably is not indicted as a pedophile in them. So it's possible, but I don't think it's true. I mean, like, again, the reason why I'm giving a 15% space there is because he is willing to do things which are basically humiliation rituals when he thinks it's necessary, like the fucking wall touching or kissing, whatever the fuck. But he would believe that is just correct. He wouldn't believe it's just a humiliation ritual. What I will say is that the fact that it's that Putin is mentioned here, it makes it much less likely, I think, to be true.
Wait, yeah, it just sounds like they're talking about the Russia gates. Yes.
Yeah, they're just fucking
That's
around,
how it reads to me.
But
however,
at the same time,
I think it's funny. That's the difference, though. I think it's funny, and I can joke about it as a right-winger.
Yeah, of course. That's another part of this. But if they had pictures of Trump blowing Bubba, and they wanted people to believe that Putin had some sort of influence over Trump, what would they do? They'd send the pictures of Trump blowing Bubba to Putin, hoping that Putin would use it as leverage on Trump.
Well, no, Putin's got them, according to this. But then wouldn't someone have at any fucking point ever posted these pictures, these damning images of Donald Trump blowing Bubba, whoever or whatever Bubba is?
The hypothesis could be, we'll release them unless you do what we say. And that's going to be what Israel wants. It's going to be what the Dems want. We'll let you do stuff that your base will like a little bit, but we can't let you do too much, so we're going to prevent you. 50-year mortgages, you got to do that for us. This blah, 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 this, all the things you've done recently that we don't like, you got to do that for us. Like, this is why I'm allowing a 15% window for this, because it would explain a lot. It might be that there is, like, when the Epstein thing started, I said I would lean towards Trump is leveraged, unfortunately.
Yeah, there was no other way to really read that.
I doubt it's this. No, well, there wasn't a way of reading it, but I think it's less likely that the US government has no data and he can't release it, but it'd look bad if he said there's nothing. And I think that's fairly likely, but slightly more likely is that he is leveraged. Probably not this specifically.
That's more likely.
But unfortunately, I would lean towards he is leveraged, especially with the stuff he's been doing recently.
Well, also, but this has been released. This stuff has been released essentially under the guidance orders of the Trump campaign, so or the Trump administration, excuse me. So that means that this is what they want you to see. What you always have to be aware of in politics is what are you allowed to see? What are you being shown? What is being pushed forward? And it's possible. I mean, this is the unfortunate part, is that you are being shown this so that the narrative becomes Trump is a homosexual or he's bi-curious or whatever. He sucked off Bill Clinton, right? Which is, as I have stated repeatedly now, much better narrative-wise than being a pedophile, right? So of course the Trump campaign would release this. Or admin. Why not? Totally changes. This totally has changed the narrative. Now Trump is no longer, I mean, maybe by some, but the messaging and the conversation has moved from Trump as a pedophile to Trump sucked off Bill Clinton. One of those is way less socially repulsive and reprehensible than the other.
The latter is not even that believable. And perhaps that's the point, is it's being released deliberately so that we'll all think it's a joke. And then if the left tries to say it, we'll be like, oh yeah, that joke, that was funny. So exactly. The problem with that narrative is that it puts Trump in the masterstroke position of having relinquished himself of this leverage.
Masterstroked, all right.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure he is a master, but it puts him in this masterful position of having relinquished himself of this leverage. Now, maybe if he knew he could do that, why did he do the dumb stuff he's done recently? Okay, that puts it back into he was just being an idiot, listening to big business, listening to Israel because he wanted to, which is depressing, right? That still needs to be explained, or perhaps it's just because he's dumb on those topics. But it also would imply that from now on, he will be less leveraged, so he'll do less dumb shit. I guess we'll fucking see. But it's going to be hard to judge all that. If this is being released by the administration, then yeah, you're right. We have to wonder why. We have to wonder, is that actually beneficial to them in some way? And that is a good hypothesis, that they're doing it to try to launder
it's worked,
this
has it not?
information. Somewhat. I mean, I'm
whether
still assessing on the basis of whether that's the case or not. But
whether or not, whatever it is, whatever you think the rationale for releasing this stuff is, with the long delay at which it was released, the effect, and that's what you have to pay attention to with this stuff, is what is the effect? The purpose of the system is what it does. And what this has done,
not always,
is make
but
it so
often,
that the purpose of a system is what it does. And what this does is show that, oh my God, how can you deny basic systems theory?
Because people are retarded sometimes. Your hypothesis requires everyone to be correct and accurate and genius and masterful with their operations. No, sometimes really the purpose of a system is totally different than what it does. You have to account for that as well.
Sometimes systems fail. Yes, correct. But
no, not just fail.
Ultimately,
produce completely different outcomes than they intended.
Okay.
If you're talking about from a purely external, descriptive perspective on purpose, then by definition, its purpose, that's one-to-one. That's what you're describing is what it does. But that's useless. If you're talking about purpose prescriptively, as in what was intended, that's a useful thing to say, but it's now untrue.
Okay, regardless of the veracity
wrong.
Okay, but regardless of the veracity,
what it is it's a useful tool to investigate what they may have intended by looking at what actually happened. That's a useful cognitive tool. That's how I describe it.
But my point is, what has been the reaction to this? Donald Trump sucked off Bill Clinton. That is now the narrative. More so than that Donald Trump is a pedophile. And that is a big improvement PR-wise. As insane as it is to say, Donald Trump sucking off Bill Clinton is so much preferable to him being a fucking pedophile that this is exonerating.
Yes, I think probably what's happened is that the portion of people that believed he was a pedophile now also believe he sucked off Bill Clinton.
And the portion of people
who didn't believe he was a pedophile now believe he isn't a pedophile, but he might have sucked off Bill Clinton. So I definitely get what you're saying, and there'll be some other areas there where people will believe different combinations of those things. But I definitely get what you're saying. You might be right, but if that's the case, I don't think it's been as effective as you imply.
No. The people who think he's a pedophile will always think he's a pedophile. What this does, though, is puts a little caveat on it, where it's like, oh, if you still think Donald Trump's a pedophile, you must not have learned about how he's not a pedophile. He's just gay or bi-curious or bisexual or whatever, and then that becomes the new narrative of you're misinformed. You haven't seen the leaks that show, no, he wasn't diddling kids. He was diddling Bubba or getting diddled by Bubba, actually, And I agree also, I kind of, I didn't really respond to this earlier, but you did mention it, which is that a whole big part of Pissgate that was very unbelievable and that made it seem so ridiculous prima facie was the fact that it was Trump was getting into bed with Ukrainian hookers and having them piss on him. Meanwhile, everyone knows Trump is a germaphobe. Yeah, that made no sense. Similarly, this doesn't actually make a lot of sense from what we know about Trump as a person, is that he's a germaphobe. That's why he eats McDonald's. So maybe he's lying about that. It's possible. It's very possible. But it's what didn't make sense about Pissgate. It's what doesn't make sense about this either. Only in that, would he suck Bill Clinton's dick? I don't think so. Bill Clinton's dick is inherently diseased. It's Bill Clinton. It's been in everything.
True. Yeah. That is probably true. It does give people a tool to deny Trump being a pedophile more than they had before. I'm not sure if it's net benefit them releasing this if it was intentional. Because more people now will believe he might actually have sucked off Bill Clinton. But yes, you're right that maybe less overall will, over time now, will believe that he's actually a pedophile. But then, if he wanted to do this,
also,
surely it implies that he then wants to use that for something else, like actually releasing the rest of the files. But he could have just released the rest of the files then, and it would have revealed that he wasn't a pedophile, but he didn't. So the hypothesis of he just doesn't have anything interesting to release. It's definitely compatible with this. He doesn't have anything interesting to release. What he does have is this to at least make it seem like he's not a pedophile, to at least give people a reason to think he's not a pedophile.
Yeah.
Or that he's leveraged and can't release it, but can release this for some reason.
Kieran says, shouldn't the Prague left actually cheer this? I thought they loved LGBT shit and coming out stories, old news, but once again, the left has no standards. What it is with that is that I'm sure you've all noticed this. Leftoid client groups are only still clients as long as they are adherent to their role as a client. And by that, I mean subservient. So what are some of the groups that leftoids hate the most in current day? They hate, more than anything, maybe, I think, honestly, they hate detransitioners. Their hatred for detransitioners is so intense because they're out of the cult. So even though they are supposedly part of the client group, they're trans, or they thought they were trans, and they lived as trans people, but then they detransition, and that now makes you, oh no, you're getting off the plantation, bitch. They hate that shit.
They're apostates.
Blacks who go off the plantation, yes, you're an apostate. Being a traitor from their perspective is the worst thing, as it is to everyone. That's why it's the lowest circle of hell. And that if you are a part of a client group who goes against the ascribed narrative and the allowed for narrative, that is worse than because you're a traitor. That is worse than anything else.
It is true that traitors are worse than an enemy. However, leaving the group is not the same as betraying it. I mean, obviously, it can be considered that way, but it doesn't have to be. The reason that we say, and the reason that I also advise, that you always kill a traitor before an enemy, is because the traitor will be dangerous if he's still within your walls, i.e. to use a city analogy. He can lower the gates, he can poison the water supply, he can assassinate people, because he's inside the walls. He has the access to do that. He has the trust, he has the bad intentions. A detransitioner has already left your walls. That's the whole premise, is they're not in your group anymore.
That's the point.
So
well,
is that treason, or is it just abandonment? It's just leaving. They would consider it treason because they're fucking extremists. Like Muslims, apostasy to them is treason. So it's the same thing.
Well, they consider it's because it delegitimizes the concept of being trans in the first place.
Yes, I mean, it's strategic.
It's again,
but in terms of the principle, there's no justification for it.
They treat blacks the same way. What black conservatives, and I have to be really honest, obviously I really despise the conservative tendency to go, wow, a beast black guy wearing a MAGA hat. That's so base, that's so cool. I hate that as well. Well, you got a black Democrats are the real racist. No, God damn it, we are. But like, so I do hate that as well. But there's a reason why those people find so much leverage and so much welcoming within the right, is because the left will absolutely cast off. And we can watch them do it with, for example, the Charlie Kirk's murderer, right? What did they do? Immediately, and as they have with every person of this ilk and that type who goes and does violence, the first thing they do is try to paint them as a conservative every single time. Now, the right does that as well, but it's gotta be. If you're a leftoid, I do have to ask this question. You're a leftoid and you have been convinced to do some violence. You must know, you really should know, that the second that you go and do the violence they constantly demand of you, you will be instantaneously revoked of your leftoid status and will be painted to be an extremist right-winger, Trump-supporting maggot, right? That's what you get in Valhalla. Thanks, Cash, you know? I don't think they understand that. They think they're going to become heroes, but the reality is that you will be denigrated, as they did with the piece of shit who murdered Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad you were here because you had some insights on this actually that I hadn't thought of. So thank you. But yes, did Trump blow Epstein? Not likely, but unfortunately, I do think there's a sliver of possibility there. Why is it being released is perhaps the more interesting question, which is essentially, as you said, to potentially protect Trump from such accusations. And this arguably makes slightly more likely the notion that Trump does not have any good data about Epstein. He does not actually have a client list to release, and that he's just trying to save his own skin by people believing that he's not releasing it because he's a pedophile, instead making them think he's not releasing it because he's sucked off Bill, but in such a way that it looks like a joke.
This is classic distractionary politics.
Yes, but if it's a joke, then we still need an explanation why he isn't releasing it. So
yes, we sure do, don't we?
Yeah, it's all of that.
Yeah, don't get distracted. Do not allow yourself to get distracted. And that is what this is intended to do, as I said before, because it's already become the narrative is Trump sucked off Bill Clinton. It's not the Epstein files in that the parts they haven't released. It's not that Trump is a pedophile. I mean, some of it, but they were always going to say that. It is Trump sucked off Bill Clinton. That is distractionary politics at work, man.
It probably is, or at least there's a distinct possibility. Yeah, Ginger is asking.
Also,
Ginger's been summoned. I didn't summon you, Ginger,
but
I guess
sausage, because I also don't understand the stinky sausage.
Aiden and Nachos want to know what the stinky sausage is, and
well, so does Ginger apparently.
I think Ginger is the one that knows.
He knows,
but I know as well. Most of chat here knows. It's disgusting, and it's not the most disgusting thing I've heard, but I genuinely would prefer to protect you and Nat. You genuinely wouldn't like it. It would be funny, so I'm conflicted. 3,
wait a minute, you've been talking about fucking my mum, and this is more disgusting than that?
Yes. 3, I could tell you, though people would prefer Ginger to do it because he's done it before. 4, I can charge for this, so I should. Because I could tell you. Even if Ginger wasn't willing to play along, which he probably would be for the funding goal.
Look,
so how much should we charge?
About fucking my mum. So yeah, but I don't know how much more disgusted I can be.
The idea of if you knew what the stinky sausage was, you would not be happy about what you just implied about your mum.
Is it a dick covered in shit? That's what I expect.
So you just stop guessing at it, Aiden. Nachos wants to know. Okay, chat, shall we see? Let's see how much we can raise for it. If Ginger is willing, then he could do it. Otherwise, I could do it and relay what stinky sausage is. We haven't had a huge amount of contributions today or last stream, and I have had to miss a few streams. So let's say if we get to £50 in total of people requesting stinky sausage in contributions, then we will explain it. Even on stream. So here's the links. By any means, tip.oozloo.net, fund.oozloo.net. £50 total of people that are asking for the stinky sausage.
The bid at 3 pence. There you go.
My God. You're not going to find it through Google, Nachos. Or if you will, you won't find the full details. Don't Google it. It'll be much more fun this way anyway. I think it's partly a cabal meme. Already ovulated this much, so I'm out. Sad. But you don't owe me anything, but I appreciate the idea. I appreciate the if you do. So yeah, we'll see if anyone wants to do that, and we'll do a dramatic retelling. Nachos, you will regret it if you just Google it. Let's see what else we have. Maybe if later in the stream it hasn't been hit, I'll reduce that. Incorrect. Senator wanted to torture Aiden and I with knowledge. You're basically paying me to torture Aiden and Nachos, or paying me to get Ginger to torture Aiden and Nachos.
Yeah, I mean that clearly works. People have paid me $500 to torture me.
True.
Well, more than $500 to torture me.
Mm.
And specifically to let you torture me.
Aiden, fucking thank you, Britwit, who says stop mentioning the sausage. Okay, this is now a bidding war. You're now going to have to offset that as well. So it's now £100 to hear about the sausage. As long as I'm interpreting you correctly,
I'm not
Britwit.
paying you 100 fucking quid.
No,
to hear
that's
about
a
this
lot
stinky
now.
sausage.
Britwit's put his money where his mouth is, and he does not want us mentioning the sausage. Britwit, please clarify if I've misunderstood, and if you do want us to tell the story. But yeah, that's really put the okay. I've understood him correctly. That's kind of put it out the reach of most people. If anyone wants to send it, even collectively together from multiple people, if we get £100 of people saying they do want it, that will be enough. But now, that's been offset, I'm afraid to say. So that probably isn't going to happen today. You may be lucky enough to hear about it another time. But I suppose that's up to Ginger. It's up to the other people that know the story, who may be willing to tell you whether or not they want to make people contribute to keeping Cabal afloat in order to tell you the story. Nachos asks, is the story so bad that it overrides torturing us? To some people, I could see it, yeah. Yeah, I could see that. I have a pretty high tolerance for disgusting stuff, but I would rather not hear it if I have the choice. Strap aiding clockwork orange style to a chair and force her to watch An Inconvenient Truth. I don't know what that is. However, force her to watch me and her mum talking to each other. I think that'd be
Inconvenient
worse.
Truth is that it's the climate change documentary, isn't it?
Ah.
Yeah, it's Al Gore's thing.
Right. Maybe this says, so bad people won't torture women. Well, according to Britwit, Britwit's put his wallet where his mouth
astonishing. That is astonishing that it's so bad. People are not willing to pony up to torture women, which is always fun.
It's not the worst thing I've heard, but it's bad enough that...
is it worse than Blue Waffle?
That's debatable.
Yeah, you cut out a little bit. There's a bit of...
I said that's debatable.
But it's on the level of the Blue Waffle.
I've actually never seen Blue Waffle, and I don't ever want to.
I very unfortunately
I know roughly what it is,
using
but I haven't seen
4chan back in the day.
Yeah. True, Kieran. Well, Matthias did appear a few weeks ago. Ezreal, I'm very disappointed that the Spyro characters have become the basis for that shit. But yeah.
The Spubby furry incident looks fucking diabolical.
Let's see what this is.
Oh no, Piers Morgan.
It's Piers Morgan. Should we see what Piers Morgan has to say on this?
I think he had on Donald Trump, for example,
okay.
that could have disqualified him from that election.
I don't know any specific information, but I've also heard Jeffrey say that he stopped hanging out with Donald Trump when he realized Trump was a crook. That's on tape. I heard a videotape interview with Jeff, and he said,
we've not seen evidence that Trump is a crook. We've seen evidence that he's a bit of a slimy businessman.
He's very familiar.
He's done some stuff that is basically a scam or almost a scam or approximately a scam, whatever. Nothing that you would say is obviously criminal, though. So this could be Epstein just trying to cover his ass on the fact that Trump stopped hanging out with Epstein because Trump discovered Epstein is a massive pedophile. There's even some suggestions I've heard, which I think may be true, that Trump was aiding the FBI in getting dirt on Epstein at the time. Though I'm not sure about that, because the CIA were probably running Epstein.
There was a very interesting linguistic idiosyncrasy there, which is that the left now has to, in order for them to accept any of this, they have to believe that Jeffrey Epstein is telling the truth. So if you didn't catch it, him calling him Jeff, using a nickname, it's a sort of term of endearment. It's
the guy
a
on
sign
the phone
of closeness.
Is Mark Epstein.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought this was a random caller. Okay, it is Mark Epstein. Okay.
Yeah.
Still interesting. I will look for that now. See if they start to cozy up to the Epsteins.
Sure. In order for the left to, as you say, in order for the left to use this against,
they have
Trump,
to believe the Epsteins.
They have to believe the Epsteins. At least Mark, but to some extent, they may end up having to just use Jeffrey as an authority on Trump and believe him over Trump. So yeah, the left of today would happily let thousands of children get raped industrially if it meant getting rid of Trump.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've made that
as long as they didn't have
clear.
to watch it themselves. And some of them would sit there willingly watching it happen on the thought of, but this will get rid of Trump. And they would let it happen. Some of them, but not that many would do that. A lot of them would endorse someone who was responsible for that in order to get rid of Trump. But yeah, let's continue watching.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That he stopped hanging out with Donald Trump when he realized Trump was a crook.
Okay, that was it.
That was it, yeah.
I suspect not. Because from all we've seen, it's the other way around. And Epstein's probably trying to cover his ass there. And as Jeef in chat says, Mossad spy and convicted sex trafficker doesn't like Trump because he's a, quote, crook. Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
But this is, interestingly, an attempt also, intentionally or not, to rehabilitate the Epsteins.
Maybe.
Maybe they can give us evidence about Trump because we really gotta fucking go after him. He's the real threat.
I didn't
not
even
the fucking
know
pedophile ring.
I didn't even know that there was a Mark Epstein until the last few days.
Nor did I, to be honest.
Which is a little odd.
It is odd. All of a sudden we're all, oh yeah, Jeff Epstein's brother, Mark.
Yeah. So I have one other thing on this. Yeah. So we already talked about that. So yeah, that's that topic. Yeah. The conclusion is difficult because it's multifaceted, but I already gave it earlier. Essentially, this changes the arena of suspicions and probabilities somewhat, but overall, as Aiden said, and as I said as well, we still need to know why Trump is not releasing the full Epstein files.
Yes.
There's two major reasons, with some other possibly smaller reasons, but two major ones. One is that he's leveraged, which this is compatible with, and unfortunately I suspect it's distinct possibility. I don't know if I'd say at this point that it's more likely, but it's a distinct possibility. And two is that the US government does not actually have an Epstein client list, much to the contrary of what we all believed for a long time in the meme. And the reason he can't say that is because it will look extremely suspicious. So in order to get rid of the suspicion of not releasing it, he's released this to try and make himself look like he's at least not a pedo, because people won't believe this, but also some people will believe it, and he'd rather they believe that than the pedo thing. So yes, combination of ideas from Aiden and I there. Thank you, Aiden, for your insight on that. But still a complex situation. We're going to have to, again, like many stories, we're going to have to wait and see what happens next to get more information.
Look, I think everybody in the government's a fucking pedophile freak or some other sort of sexual degenerate. So, I mean, whatever. And I think most people do. And that's why this works, right? Because everyone, the populist delusion or truth, which it may be in this case, is that everyone in DC is a pedophile or a sexual degenerate. So, of course, it's believable. And that makes it a perfect distraction from the actual issue, which is to release the entire fucking unredacted files.
Yeah, an awful lot of people at or near power are either directly involved with or know about pedophilia and don't say anything about it. In many cases, like large-scale pedophilia rings. The idea of a lot of them being sexual deviants, there's probably a lot of things that go into that. I don't think that just comes from power. I don't think it even comes from psychopathy, but I think that you could attempt to explain that. There's lots of ways that you could, but no one clear way that I know of. So yeah, we'll move on from this story. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions here, including the same ones we had before as well. Right.
Yeah.
That's
nothing got answered, except for maybe Trump blew Bill Clinton, or maybe this is just leftoids joking with each other.
So the other thing we have is that sort of went along with this as well, is that recently Trump has been disappointing us quite a bit with the 50-year mortgages thing, which doesn't seem like a good idea. With the thing that we talked about last stream. I can't remember what it was actually.
H1Bs,
thank you. Which I think is what I was arguing is it may not be as bad as you think, but I still disagree with him even at its best.
Yeah.
And with all the Israel stuff, like a lot of things that Trump is not doing so well on, a lot of things he is doing well on, but they do seem overshadowed at the moment, at least in apparent importance, or at least in imminence, at least in how they register to us, by the bad things. And along with those things, at the same time, he is getting a bit of pushback from a few in his follower base who are also in Congress. Most notably, at this moment,
Marjorie Taylor Greene,
who says the following: This and the Epstein files is why I'm being attacked by President Trump. It really makes you wonder what is in those files and who and what country is putting so much pressure on him. I forgive him and I will pray for him and return to his original MAGA promises. Yeah, I mean, if it's anyone, it's Israel. It might not be just Israel, but it's
well, you can bring up the pictures that she's posted, which shows how much money she, who is being labeled as a rhino, versus MAGAs, which Lindsey Graham was not.
No, Lindsey Graham's not.
Lindsey Graham,
from everything I've seen, he's just a snake.
Oh, Lindsey Graham is a complete piece of shit. But if he is being labeled as MAGA, essentially because he's not talking about this, I don't know what he said on this front regarding Trump. But Lindsey Graham was a never Trumper, I thought, and he's also a complete piece of shit. Abject actual rhino. I don't really know what to make of Marjorie Taylor Greene, but it is true she has not taken any money from AIPAC, and that's kind of a big deal when it comes to trusting these people. Is you need to look at who they take money from. And Lindsey Graham has taken a lot of fucking money from AIPAC.
My read on MTG is that she is autistic.
I actually think she is. I don't know if it's autistic, but she's got brainworms or something. Like, and I mean in a good way. I do mean that in a good way.
She acts in a way which is distinctly principled from everything I've seen.
Yeah.
She is a bit without inhibition. She went really hard on the adorning herself with all the MAGA stuff, which was fun. And, at the time certainly seemed to be obviously the right way to go. Now it's a little more shaky. But she's been very into it. She's been seemingly pursuing with gusto what she believes to be right at every turn, which is what you want in a politician. Pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much the ideal. It's not that realistic to assume that you can have that. It's not that realistic to assume that will last, that won't be just destroyed and snuffed out, but it is sort of an ideal if you can get to it. 8-Bit says, autistic, no, fake, yes. You think so, 8-Bit? I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything to dislike about her, except the fact that she has 3 toes.
I don't think that she's autistic. I think she's neurotypical or psychologically atypical. In some way, in that I think it's less so autism, maybe more so some sort of pathology, but I don't know what it is, and I wouldn't deign to ascribe a psychological disorder to her. But she's very odd.
My read from the
I don't know what it is.
The fact that she doesn't have the sort of awareness of social dignity to realize that adorning herself so aggressively and being so out there looks weird. That gives me autism, and the principled stances gives me autism as well. But the former could also be explained by other things, ADHD and just enthusiasm, impulsiveness, but that would imply it would only be once, but it's been consistent. So my read is autism, but not necessarily clinical autism. Just
it
enough
is very unusual for women to have truly principled stances. Which makes me think it's maybe not principled in the first place. I'm not, again, as a woman who has principled stances, but I am autistic, so there you go. Maybe, who knows?
She, if you're going to have a woman that has principles, they're going to have autism, because principles come from high testosterone, and high testosterone correlates with autism. So that's going to be almost certainly the case. In fact, it may be the only way for women to be principled. It may be a one-to-one relationship. That in order to be principled, they have to have autism. That may be the same for men as well, actually, but less so because testosterone. Nachos doesn't think she has principles. See, maybe not. Maybe she appears in many ways outwardly better than she actually is. I'm open to believing it, though. Because, I mean, if this is true, this certainly implies that she is principled.
I mean, that is a principle in that she's now, or unless AIPAC never offered her any money, right?
Possibly.
That is the other side of the potential argument here. Maybe she has never been offered AIPAC any money because she's some sort of psycho. You know, she's got some sort of mental instability, which I know people were like, oh, she killed her dog. Which is insane, to be fair. But as far as I understand, the dog was had a problem with it of some sort. I still wouldn't kill the fucking dog.
The 2 people in chat who are expressing distrust in Marjorie Taylor Greene are both female. Now, I think both of you, Nachos and 8-Bit, Nachos Neighbor, I think you would
it wasn't MTG.
I think
it was
you
Christy
would
Gnome. My
be.
bad.
I think you would be disappointed with me if I didn't now turn around and say, well, the people expressing doubt in this woman are themselves women, and I should therefore express doubt in them.
Well, no, women, nobody knows women more than women. And so I think actually when it comes to judging women, it's the only time you should maybe listen to women. Now, I don't have an overwhelming distrust of Marjorie Taylor Greene. However, I also do not trust her, but I don't trust any politician. So you got to take my read there with a grain of salt. I don't trust any politician whatsoever. So my distrust of Marjorie Taylor Greene is higher than the like the Basil level, which is just inherent distrust, and it is higher for her than it is for Basil. The only politician I trust, no, not even. The only one I don't think have like a negative trust level for is maybe Ron Paul, and even that one's a maybe. Oh, and
Conflicting Images says MTG is an intersex
no, I don't
male
trust
to
Rupert
female.
Lowe either.
That's interesting. I can see her being intersex, where she is in most ways female, but has
doesn't she have children,
has
though?
like male. Well, yes, but so did Michelle Obama.
That's very true. So did Big Mike.
The fact that MTG, I don't know if you know this, Aiden. I have said this before. MTG has 3 like mutant toes.
Yeah, I've seen her mutant feet.
Yeah. So it would imply some sort of genetic disorder that might correlate with the way she acts as well, having some sort of male influence.
Okay, so inherently we know she has high mutagenic load because she's a mutant, quite literally. She's got 3 toes. And mutagenic load does load, meaning that if you have one mutation, you're far more likely to have another mutation. So autism, which is quite rare in females, for example, is probably more likely if you have another mutation, such as polydactylism or whatever it's called.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of her initially. Let's see what else I've got on her, though. I did collect some stuff. Razorfist has an opinion. He says MTG has no one to blame but herself. She took repeated shots at a president whose endorsement she outright required from the comfort of The View, no less. I didn't know she was on The View. He says, I don't see this as much different than the falling out with Elon. She, like Musk, had a pet issue that didn't get addressed the way she wanted. She, like Elon, melted down about it publicly, so Trump distanced himself. It's not 2016 anymore, where the Don tries to bring errant allies back into the fold and pays for it with their treachery later. When people pull a heel turn, he cuts them off and moves ahead. Now, Razorfist is taking here a very sort of hard, one-sided position on this, as if to imply
Razorfist needs to take Trump's dick out of his mouth.
Hold on. As if to imply that Trump is just right completely and must be trusted. Now, that's not necessarily what he's saying, because he's talking from a strategic position here. And if he means it purely strategically from Trump's position, and from MTG's position as well, merging both of them, then yes, purely strategically, this does make sense. However, it also implies his actual principled stance, which would be, in this case, if he is talking with any degree of principled stance, his principle here is Trump is always right, basically, and the MTG is wrong about this. Now, maybe he doesn't mean that, and maybe, Aiden, your statement there about him having to take Trump's dick out of his mouth is unfair, because he might be referring to this in a purely strategic light, in which case it's hard to disagree.
Well, I don't know if you've paid attention to Razorfist over the last couple of years, but he is a hardcore Trump dick rider. He has made an absolute fool of himself in partially his Trump dick riding. He's become a bit of a meme amongst the dissident right for that reason, whatever the fuck that means for you, but because of his Trump dick riding. And it is kind of a general problem with politics. I was talking about this actually with my my group of male friends today, which is that the problem with democracy and politics in general, even beyond democracy, is that it inherently, and this is representative and made illustrative in the sort of sidesism that you're seeing being enforced currently on the right of are you with Trump or are you not, is that most politics is just cheerleading. It's just cheerleading, and it's like, this is our guy, this is my guy. People get emotionally and many times financially even invested in a politician. And then once they've made that commitment, it creates psychological dissonance to be able to break from it. I was a huge hardcore MAGA, let's go Trump girl in 2016, right? 2017. And then very quickly, I remember what happened. Trump drone striked, what was it? What country was it? He drone striked Afghanistan, Syria. He drone striked Syria immediately, like within the first month. And I went, oh, okay. And the silver lining, the halo effect is what's called in research, wore off immediately. Because no, it's just more of the same shit. Now, I know that maybe, the retrospective on that was, well, he was new and he didn't know what to do. He's being pressured by his advisors, which is probably true. But there are people still out there who have this halo around Trump where he can do no wrong. And that is an unfortunate reality of politics. Not just for Trump, but for all kinds of politicians. All of them. People develop parasocial relationships with them, and they always have. People seem to think that the term parasocial relationships is novel and refers to internet stuff. No. Parasociality has always existed. Right? No one ever really knows the politicians they vote for, but they have an idea of them in their heads.
Sorry, I was paying attention to something much more important.
Okay.
Someone in YouTube chat says, I know the big Mike thing is a joke, but there are pictures of her pregnant. Just Google it. Not as far as I can find. And in fact, there's a Snopes article saying they couldn't find any either. So no, that's the weird thing.
They may have seen some AI photos. Well, no, you may have seen some AI photos or edited photos, I'm sure. But as far as I also know, I don't think there are any confirmed photos of Michelle Obama pregnant. Now, that being said, it is very, very possible that Michelle Obama is just infertile.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
But you're a political family and you have to have children.
Yeah.
Now, how were those children created? I mean, did Obama fuck somebody else and they use a surrogate? And by surrogate, or did he just literally fuck some whore and, or did they adopt? Or it could be any number of things. But for political reasons, particularly at the time when Obama was president, it might have been a bad look to be like, or you know what? How about this? It's also very possible that it's Barry who's infertile. And that would be a terrible look because, the leader of your country is shooting blanks. Yeah. Looks bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's possible.
As much as it shouldn't, it does.
So BritTwit is announcing that he wants to reverse the decision of the money that he sent in. He wants to change it so that we do talk about stinky sausage. I think what we'll do then, chat, is I think I'll give it a little bit more time for that. Let's say that let's say that sort of end of the stream.
I don't want to know what stinky sausage is, but yes, you do. I do. I have a morbid curiosity. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say sort of by the end of the stream ish, which will probably be in the next half an hour to maybe an hour. We'll see where the bid is, but at the moment, I guess because if BritTwit is just reversing it to be positive, I guess I'll just give it a bit of time then, and we'll see if anyone else wants to prevent it from being done. Then you can contribute to undo it. But we're currently counting it as being at 50. I'll give it a bit of time now because he's reversing his decision. It's at 50. If you want to bring it below 50, you can with any amount, but then that amount will bring it up above again if someone else contributes that much. Ghost says, you end it now, stop counting the votes. We'll give it a little bit longer because he reversed his decision. Just give it a little bit of time. Maybe not until the end of the stream. Just a little bit of time. It looks like Ginger isn't here anymore, so I'd have to tell the story anyway. But I'm willing to do that.
You could ping him.
Good. I want to hear you recall whatever the fuck stinky sausage
sure you
is.
Do. Next thing I have on this...
No, just to force you to say something uncomfortable, because you've put me in such an uncomfortable fucking situation when we're already my mother.
What I say will be much more uncomfortable for you than it will be for me. Trump said this, and this in my opinion is not a great look. He says, did Thomas Massie, sometimes referred to as Rand Paul Jr., because of the fact that he always votes against the Republican Party, get married already? Boy, that was quick. No wonder the polls have him at less than an 8% chance of winning the election. Anyway, have a great life, Thomas, and ? His wife will soon find out that she's stuck with a loser.
Yeah,
now,
that's pathetic.
Trump has often sort of put out these tweets that are very inflammatory and aggressive even towards world leaders.
I think it's
but they've never seemed
truth.
They've never seemed petty or desperate.
This
seems petty and desperate.
That is petty.
Now it gets even worse.
Gay with Rand.
He didn't say that. It gets even worse because this is a remarriage after his wife died last year.
Oh right. Yes, it is. It was a big public.
And as if this
story.
implies that he's going to lose the next election. Now, I think there was a picture down here of the. That's not the same picture, but I think there was a picture somewhere of the actual couple, and they look happy. Looks like a nice couple.
Well,
so
it's just a
Massie
sickening thing to say.
Thomas Massie was
a man who just recently lost his wife. You know,
Thomas Massie managed to find someone within a year. Now, it being quick that he got remarried could be odd, but it could also not be.
It can be. Well, this is this kind of shit where people need to fucking nose. It's inherent to humans is to want to be nosy and want to dig into others' affairs. But is it a little weird to get remarried within a year of your wife passing away? Yeah. However, it's not unusual.
The question of if it has only been a year.
Everyone knows what a rebound is, and the death of a spouse is it's gotta induce the strongest fucking rebound response. And just like, I mean, look, I've never experienced this, obviously, and I don't really, I don't have strong opinions towards Thomas Massie. I don't trust him. Like I said, I have a negative opinion on all politicians inherent. I've liked some of the things Massie said, and I like Rand Paul, sort of, but I don't look, just try to think about it as a normal person perspective. Your spouse dies, you're going to want probably intimacy. Do you know what I mean?
So what Trump
I can understand it.
Trump says get married already, didn't say get remarried. And the question of it's only been 1 year, there's two things that would commonly be. Is either one, it's a rebound, which doesn't look great, which is unwise, or two, they were cheating the whole time.
Yeah.
But that makes the death suspicious. So I think that's way more than even Trump here is trying to imply. But
yeah.
The attitude he presents it with is very poor, looks desperate, looks petty. He definitely could have worded it better. If he was trying to say, this guy has demonstrated his lack of wisdom, has demonstrated his lack of control, self-control, by getting remarried so quickly.
When did you become
that
Ginger?
Was Ginger in the audience. Thank you, Ginger, for muting it. That was he definitely could have said this a lot better. The way he said it looks desperate. Though I think what he actually means of the 1 year marriage, that is a little weird. But again, it doesn't have to be one of those two things. It could be genuine, just that is very quick. The marriage part of it, I mean, like I've known people who had, I think Lauren Southern's one of these, where they kind of rush into doing the trad thing because they want to do that, or they rush into some marriage. And that's not always a bad idea, but it certainly can be. So if they're going full trad pilled, they may be like, there's no problem. We want to have children. Let's get married because that's what you do within a year. It's not impossible. It is odd that it's only been a year. But to imply that has anything to do with the election, to imply that there's something wrong with the relationship, to imply that he's a loser, just from that is, again, it looks kind of petty and desperate. From what I've seen from Thomas Massie, he does vote against Trump. And again, we've got to use the strategic and principled lens there. From a strategic point of view, is it unwise for Thomas Massie to vote against Trump? Sometimes I think it is. Sometimes what Trump is trying to do is not the best thing, but it's either that or nothing or the Democrats' choice. So you should vote strategically. However, Thomas Massie, I think, is trying to position himself as the principled candidate. For if MAGA fails, then people may look to someone who's more principled. Much like the guy whose name I keep forgetting over here, the guy that got kicked out of Reform. He's positioning himself, and I think it's genuine as well, as the principled candidate, even if the strategically... Yes, the strategically more effective approach of Farage ends up failing. He's there to be the principled one to perhaps lead the next generation of politics.
I really hope you look. He
may be needed.
Even though I just complain about the political cheerleading and stuff, and I talk about how much I hate it. I want to like Rupert Lowe.
He's going to have to figure out the strategy part.
I hope he's 1% as based as he is on Twitter.
He's going to have to figure out the strategy part, but the principle part is already good. And Thomas Massie and MTG, to an extent, are sort of now painting themselves as the principled, better than MAGA tier. MAGA, like you got Rhinos, MAGA, which are good, but they have some flaws and they will do what is strategically advantageous, even if it's not principled sometimes. And you've got these people that sort of free radical mercenary types who will always do what's principled, even if it doesn't aid their side. And they're sort of positioning themselves like that. So, but there's issues with them as well. They have taken positions that people don't like as well.
There's something people have to really have to clock on all of this, is that this works the same in politics as it does in academia, as it does in any field. Principled people lose. Principled people don't win. And that means principled people rarely get elected because principles are not conducive to winning elections. So,
truth and victory are sometimes opposed, yes.
Again, the people who end up at high levels of academia are the people who suck the most dick. And apparently Trump does too. But you know what I mean? Like, that is who wins in politics. And at some point, any position in a job, in a field, is politics. It becomes politics, unfortunately. And so the people who win are those who are the best at playing the game. You don't get principled people
that is often
in that
true.
System.
Because, as I say, truth and victory are sometimes opposed. They sometimes are the same thing, but sometimes they're opposed. Yes. And they are two of the most fundamental forces in human behavior.
Ginger is here, and he says he will explain stinky sausage if time permits.
Well,
but
I haven't seen anyone else contributing to prevent it. So I tell you what, we'll finish this topic because it's the only other topic in the title. Then we'll do stinky sausage as part of a wind down of the stream, and then we'll end. So let's just do the last thing I have on this. Oh yeah, no, here it is. Oh no, was it? Yeah, there it is. There's. I think that's either his current or previous wife.
I think that's his new wife.
That's the new wife. Okay,
yeah,
so
married 36.
There is an 18-year gap between them. It's a little strange.
But she's 36. It's not like she's 18. Come on.
Yeah.
I can't stand this shit. I can't stand this shit. I was literally reading some shit today about how, like, I was only 20. I was a little baby. He was 25. He took advantage of me. I was reading this shit today from a tweet that went viral on Twitter. And it's like, women need to stop with this shit. And the men who facilitate that crap.
There is a little truth to that, but it does go too far. As many of you know, I was in a relationship with someone with a significant age gap, but they were, of course, an adult. There were differences. There are differences. There are things you have to deal with an age gap that big, but they're not unsurmountable.
Women want older, more established men. They have more power. They have more. They're more mature. They have more money usually. Women go for older dudes typically.
The +7 rule is it works pretty well, doesn't it? Conflicting images. It's a good guide. Have you heard this one, Aiden?
Huh?
If you want to know whether it's okay to be with someone given their age,
half your age plus
half your age and +7. Yeah, because that works out for pretty much any age.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
which I think she is.
Half his age is 26 +7, so it narrowly makes it. Yeah, narrowly, but it does. So if that's our standard, imagine making that the legal standard. It'd be funny.
No, it's just stop being fucking weird about it. Women like older men not because they are older, but because of the reasons I stated that come with age.
Yeah, an 18-year gap if they are like 20 and 38 would be crazy.
That's weird. That's weird.
Not illegal, not unethical. It could work, but it is weird. But 54 and 36 is not such a problem.
My parents, my mom was 20 and my dad's 7 years older than her. So she was 20 and he was 27. You know, and I think today people would say that that's like a pedophilic relationship, which is fucking insane. But, you know.
Nacho, is this Brickles 20? 2 years younger. No, you're okay then. You're okay then.
I've been...
woman wants attention
for whatever
that
reason,
doesn't match the topic at all.
For whatever reason, I have always only been interested in people that are within like a year or two of me my whole fucking life. And it's always changed because who you find attractive changes as you get older, I think. But it's always been like that kind of age gap. It's like never any more than that. And by the way, also, I guess this may be fucked on my part, is it's always been younger. But always like never more than like 1 or 2 years. Bill's a year younger than me, you know.
So this is sort of a
what the fuck does that mean?
What?
I don't know what that means.
What does what mean?
It's antithetical to the woman norm.
Oh, I see. Coincidence. The sample size isn't big enough for it to be a trend, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, but it's like the guy who's my attorney, who I asked out every week for like a year. He's a year younger than me as well. Yeah.
So this article is sort of a wrap up of the whole topic. So Trump is withdrawing his support, his endorsement for, and he's put Congresswoman in brackets as if she isn't one. No, she is one.
Yeah, which is weird.
But yes. Yeah. But again,
maybe is it the woman part?
I don't know. Maybe
it's just pathetic, is what it is.
I'm sure that there have been other things he's posted that I would agree seem petty and desperate, even if they're about people I don't like. So I don't think I'm being unprincipled here, but with the one about Massie, it did seem petty and desperate. Haven't read this one yet, but just putting Congresswoman in quotes also does seem kind of petty and desperate as well. But let's read what he said. And withdrawing my support of endorsement of, quote, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of the great state of Georgia, says Trump. Over the past few weeks, despite my creating record achievements for our country, including a total and complete victory on the shutdown, closed border, which actually kind of, but it wasn't really you that did that. Closed borders, which does appear to be something you can genuinely credit him with. Low taxes, which is questionable. No minimum in sports, which appears to have generally worked. Or transgender for everyone, not sure what he means by that. Ending DEI, which it has ended in many sectors, but not all. Stopping Biden's record-setting inflation, which I think has gone down. Biggest regulation cuts in history. Haven't seen much evidence of that, but I'm willing to believe him on that. Stopping 8 wars, that may be true. Rebuilding our military.
Sort of.
Not sure about that. Haven't looked into that enough. Being respected by every country in the world, that's very debatable. As opposed to being the larking stock that we were just 12 months ago. It's definitely a step up, no question on that. Having trillions of dollars of record-setting invested in the USA and having created the hottest country anywhere in the world from being a dead country just 12 months ago, that's exaggeration, but there's some truth to that. He says, all I see... Yes, of course. But no, he's not too far off with this selection of achievements.
He's being exaggeratory, but he always is.
He says, all I see, quote, wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance, unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get. She has told many people that she is upset that I don't return her phone calls anymore, but with 219 congressmen and women, 53 US senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to lead, I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia.
Oh, are they?
That they too are fed up with her and her antics, and if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support, he says. She has gone far left.
This is fucked.
Which is not true.
Oh, really?
Even doing The View, which I guess she's done, but that's probably, she probably went in there acknowledging, like realizing this is the enemy. I'm going to go in there, putting the banner for MAGA.
They have Scott Jennings on every week, for fuck's sake.
He continues, with their low IQ Republican hating anchors, which, I mean, that is true. He says, thank you for your attention to this matter, make America great again. So, a lot of claims made there. If you extract
laid there,
maybe if you extract this to the basic claims, one of the basic claims is that she wants his attention, and he can't give it because he's got a lot of people that want his attention. Well, that's fair, but
I guess
he's also
what has she really
that
done?
She wants the attention despite being crazy. Which again, I've seen her in public. I've seen how she acts. She is kind of crazy.
I mean, that's BPD shit, to be fair. Like in all kinds of psychological disorders, people do want attention. That being said, what did she post that was crazy? That she's not paid by AIPAC? Excuse me?
She comes across as crazy. I don't know if she's posted anything crazy. I don't know any specific examples.
She does come off as crazy, but what's crazy about her demanding the release of the Epstein files, other than clearly Trump is still incensed about this. He is doing this is the exact same rhetoric he was using a fucking year ago when almost nearly, hasn't it been, when the first time the Epstein files and releasing them sort of came up. Has it been that long? It's been months and months. There's nothing in the Epstein files. There's nothing in there. This is ridiculous. This is crazy talk. Crazy people. Okay, well, you look guilty as fuck when you say stuff like this. And I think this is actually, sorry, I know that when I talk about politics, I often give the impression, and it's not intentional, that everything is very heavily orchestrated. There is orchestration, but it often fails, and it fails because of the human element. So you're going to get shit like this, because this is Trump truthing from this is probably actually him, and I don't think he makes all his posts either. But if the whole point is to release these specific documents to draw attention away, to be distractionary away from the idea that Trump is a pedophile, or that what Trump's involvement or association with Jeffrey Epstein and his pedophile island were into Donald Trump sucked Bill Clinton's dick. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, release all the same fucking files, or all the files we've been asking for that you've still not released, the same request that everyone has had from months ago. Yeah, I think this might actually be a crash out, because he's subverting his own messaging by doing this. I mean, if as it appears that he sucked Bill Clinton's dick, he's not a pedophile, he sucked Bill Clinton's dick, is the messaging, which appears to be the takeaway that people have at least taken from it. So again, whatever you can disagree with the quote, but purpose of the system is what it does, then why would he then subvert his own messaging attempts by doing this shit? And I think that's may just be Trump's a fucking egotist. He's a narcissist, which is okay. It's a good thing. Actually, often a somewhat, to a certain degree, a good trait to have in a leader is to be a little bit egotistical and a little bit narcissistic.
Yes. As I said, I think the most realistic reason, or the most good reason for a leader to lead, which is realistic and will practically happen and last, is for their own glorification and narcissism. So
yes,
Trump in that regard
it's beneficial in certain amounts. Yes,
but unfortunately, this is familiar. The way that Trump is acting at his worst when it comes to, assume for a second that Marjorie's done nothing wrong with it. Trump is just upset that she disagrees with him on some things where she's right. Assume that for a second. Then his narcissism will not permit that. He'll just have to X her out, much like I think is what happened with Farage and Lowe, actually. I'm not sure, though. And we've seen that kind of, that sort of vulnerable narcissism before. Now, what we've seen, I think, in our own personal lives is something much worse, much weaker, and over much less. But with Trump, I think it's the same mechanic. Marjorie Taylor Greene responded to this.
Yeah.
She said, quote, President Trump just attacked me and lied about me. I haven't called him at all, but I did send those text messages today. Apparently this is what sent him over the edge. The Epstein files. And of course, he's coming after me hard to make an example to scare all the other Republicans before next week's vote to release the Epstein files.
Yes.
It's astonishing, really, how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out, that he actually goes to this level. It is desperately in need of an explanation.
I mean, it's a terrible look. Like Trump, this is not a good week for Trump. I do think that him being gay and sucking Bubba's dick has so much. I just observe it, right? I just observe it in the ambient discourse on Twitter on the right. And what I've seen is it's been made, the entirety of the Epstein files has been made into a joke, and that they are agreeing sort of with the premise of what Trump has said about MTG, which is, well, who gives a fuck? We now know what was in the files. The big secret is he's gay. It's not that he's a pedophile. And that really is a change of the narrative.
Wouldn't even have to be that he's gay, just that he was made to do something that itself is a gay act.
Forced to suck dick, yeah.
All right, how many of you are only here waiting through this important world news just to hear Nachos and Aiden suffer for the stinky sausage story?
Okay, well, before that, I want to make myself a nice drink though for that, because I need something. Finish
you
this,
go do
and then
that,
I'll go make
and I'll wrap this up while you're gone, and then we'll. All
right, cool.
Then we'll do that.
I'm gonna have an amaretto sour. Yeah, I'm gonna have an amaretto sour.
Alcohol. MTG says, but really most Americans wish he would fight this hard to help the forgotten men and women of America who are fed up with foreign wars and foreign causes, are going broke trying to feed their families, and are losing hope of ever achieving the American dream. That's what I voted for, she says. From what she's saying here, I can't help but support her. She says, I have supported President Trump with too much of my precious time, too much of my own money, and fought harder for him even when almost all other Republicans turned their back and denounced him. That's an exaggeration, but still, she has put a lot into it. She says, I don't worship or serve Donald Trump. I worship God, Jesus is my savior, and I serve my district, GA14, and the American people, she says, which is what you're supposed to say. She says, I remain the same today as I've always been, and I will continue to pray this administration will be successful because the American people desperately deserve what they voted for. For me, I remain America first and America only, she says. These were the messages. I think this was her sending a message to Trump, but correct me if I'm wrong, chat. It says, check the flight logs of Epstein's plane. Bill Clinton is on there like 26 times, Hillary too. This might have been Trump sending to her, actually. For many of us, releasing the Epstein files has always been for the women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein, but also because we believed that Democrats, bad guys like the Clintons, were entangled and involved with him. Epstein was the spider that wove the web of the deep state. Lean into it. Okay, I think this is MTG telling Trump lean into it. And then, I don't know who this Natalie is, NH, who said the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And then MTG, I guess it's MTG responding, saying, in every interview I have done, I have defended President Trump. I've said over and over, the women say he did nothing wrong and their attorney says he's the one who helped. And the Democrats had 4 years to release the files but did nothing, which is definitely true. In all of this, we must not forget the Democrats could have released it at any time but didn't. They're really only pushing for it to be released now. And that's really good evidence, if anything, that maybe the files don't exist. Again, this is not the most likely answer, but recent events sort of imply it's more likely that there is no Epstein files. There is no client list, at least not one that the US government has access to. The Democrats are just trying to force release it, because then Trump will say, I can't. And it will look suspicious as fuck, even if the reality is there is nothing to release. The vote still went ahead, even on the basis that they're of something that doesn't exist. So that's a possibility. Always remember that. And it would also explain why the Democrats are pushing for it now, when they wouldn't want it released if it existed. They wouldn't want it released if it existed, but they know it doesn't. So they can push for it. That it would suggest that. It's not the only possibility, of course.
If they don't exist, there's no reason to vote against it.
True. Well, if there is, because if it goes through and Trump doesn't release them, then not only will it look incredibly suspicious, but there will be a much more institutionally explicable reason to impeach him that some rhinos might even go for. And some of MAGA might even go for if they feel betrayed on the Epstein files, that he didn't do what Congress ordered him to do. Or maybe he can't, or maybe it will look like he hid them or that he obscured them. Congress will have the chance to say so. You might get Chuck Schumer out saying, we searched around and weirdly we couldn't find them. He'll word it in such a way as to imply Trump hid them. So it just pushes the issue further and gives an opportunity for them to make Trump look worse. Democrats have done almost nothing right during the Trump presidency, but they've figured out the Epstein thing looks bad for him, so they would want to push it. Again, this is not the most likely possibility, is the fact that the idea that there is no client list and that he can't release it, but it is distinctly possible.
It makes you look way worse than voting for it and then having an investigation and be like, it's basically nothing here.
Yeah, but who would believe that investigation at this point? His base wouldn't.
Yeah, true. That's the problem. It's so there's so much shit involved with this now that nobody believes anything, and Trump really has, via his actions, I think, destroyed a ton of his credibility and trust within his base, and that was the power of it. And instead, what you have left now are these sort of the opposite of the never Trumpers, the always Trumpers, many of whom were previously never Trumpers, which should be very disconcerting to people. People like Ben Shapiro, who were never Trumpers in the beginning, now are ardently on Trump's side. Also, I made this amaretto sour, and it's fantastic.
Kieran says, if the files are a hoax, show us the evidence of tampering, forgery, and gaslighting. Must be plenty of it since Trump is going so hard. The hypothesis I'm presenting is that the US government never held the actual juicy information from the Epstein industry. That it was never held by them. It was always held by other groups. That's the hypothesis. And therefore, they have nothing to release. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm not sure where even to put the likelihood of it being that versus of Trump being leveraged. They may be roughly equal in my mind. I'm not sure which one is more likely, but I do think we should not discount the notion that there actually aren't any files for Trump to release. She ends her message by saying, stop ignoring the women. Many of them likely literally voted for Donald Trump and say so publicly. Them being raped as teenagers is not a hoax. Hard to argue with her position. So it really is up to Trump looks incredibly suspicious and guilty on this. She looks very principled. So he needs to try to delegitimize her. But again, that's just the wrong look. She needs to just not make a mistake here. She might not win, but Trump may be forced to do something or say something or reveal something he doesn't want to. And if he doesn't want to reveal the Epstein files, you got to ask why. And MTG is the force in the world right now that is the closest to making him explain why.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. A bunch of the shit does not logically follow. Like I said, my turning point on Trump was him bombing Syria, which was, again, I think within the first 3 months of his presidency, where it wasn't a turning point inherently. It was like, wait a minute, this guy is, and that people just gotta stop cheerleading. You really have to stop cheerleading. I know everybody wants their guy to win. Okay.
And you know I'm exaggerating with that stuff, though.
And I know you're exaggerating.
Farage is to the UK roughly what Trump is to the US. Not perfect, but by far the best and a good step in the right direction. So that's what I see it as.
And I know you get it, Ghost, but my point is that Marjorie Taylor Greene is someone who is not cheerleading, and she's been actively castigated by the President of the United States and called out very specifically for this, for voicing dissenting opinion. This is the problem with cheerleading. And people are going along with it and saying, fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene, at least a certain portion of the base. Sorry, explains it again, I know. Okay. I can't help myself, all right?
The chat wants one thing.
I know what they want. And I am also morbidly curious.
All right.
I want to know about stinky sausage.
We're going to wrap up the stream, but first, any of you that are watching who are here for politics and memes, this next part is not for you. This next part is for if you have a strong stomach and you want to see people acting very disgusted.
So this part it's not for politics nor memes. It is not fit for human ears, is what I'm getting.
No, it's not. Nachos and Ginger, I shall drag you on when you're ready. Just ping me and I'll drag you each on. And then we'll do that. Because I can tell the story, but Ginger has told it before.
Ginger's here.
And I think people would probably prefer he tell it again. He has a particular way of telling it, which some people seem to like. So
there we go.
Bring them both on. And Nachos. Right, welcome Ginger and Nachos.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Yeah. Good evening. So, let me just get a picture up.
What fresh hell have you brought for us today,
put this
Ginger?
in our mind. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you in the hands of my good friend Ginger. Ginger, please take it away. I can't believe I am permitting this, but I am.
So, before it is explained as to the nature of the stinky sausage, it is worth explaining the origin of the stinky sausage. Despite how I sound, I come from an extremely working class upbringing. I went to a public, all-boys secondary school. One of the popular, shall we say, activities within this particular secondary school was the practice of attempting to disgust each other with the most horrific of concepts, images, and other such things derived from both the internet and the imaginations of the fellow children. This story it has come from the same crucible that gave birth to the blue waffle, the special fried rice, and other such things. No, the special fried rice.
Right.
You really telling me a special fried this rice?
I'm sure you don't even know what the I'm sure you don't even know what the special fried rice is. But I can tell you.
Do, but maybe not.
Rice with cum?
It is the male equivalent of blue waffle.
Oh yeah, I think
Google at your own risk.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this. Yeah.
The stinky sausage, however, is something that I have only ever heard be retold within the realm of the particular school that I went to, I have never heard of anybody else having previously encountered it prior to my telling of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is the preamble. Imagine, if you will, a gay couple.
Oh, God.
Horrific, I know.
Okay.
Imagine
if I must.
Imagine the pair of them in mid-copulation. And within this realm of mid-copulation, the receiver has not previously undergone the necessary cleansing rituals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Under normal circumstances, this is a scenario that would lead to
yeah.
a
I asked if this was a dick
phenomenon
covered in shit,
known
but
as shit dick.
yeah.
But no, the stinky
Oh.
sausage is not the shit dick. The stinky
I
sausage
see.
is a consequence. For you see, the act of the repeated driving inwards, retreating, and repetition has the intention of not only causing the feces within the receiver to be pushed in towards the bowels of the receiver, but
Mhm.
also, well, the principle of every action has an equal and opposite reaction holds
Oh,
true
God.
in all walks of life. And as such, the shit must go somewhere. And unfortunately for the giver, that somewhere is into the urethra.
Oh, yeah, of course, right.
Oh,
The,
God.
the stinky sausage occurs after copulation and cleansing has been commenced. For it is revealed when the once giver realizes that they are no longer able to take their own attempts at urination, and therefore
yeah.
must
Okay.
squeeze their own penis in such a manner to run the finger up underneath the urethra, ejecting a stinky sausage.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, Pug has posted a GIF. I understand.
Yeah, that's gross, but that's not as gross as what I was thinking it was going to be. I'm kind of disappointed.
Yeah, I am as well. There's nowhere. I mean, like, I just knew that happened. I mean, I would just expect it because it's going to happen.
How would you know that happens?
Well, I would expect it is like if you're shoving your cock into a hole that's full of poopy, then you can imagine it's going to get some poopy in it.
Shit smashed into the urethra, squeezed out like a froob.
I mean, it's sickening. It's horrific. But I mean, like, it's gay.
I did tell you it's not the worst I've heard.
I mean, it's gay sex. Of course, it's gross. I mean, I guess heteros do it as well, allegedly, but some women claim to be into it, but I don't fucking understand that.
Ginger.
Makes no sense.
The school that you were in prepared you with some good...
That doesn't produce this outcome.
Ginger, the school that you were in prepared you with the attitude of seeking out good, discussed material. To be honest, that's okay. It's not a bad starting point, but I think we need to compete further on this and do better. I think we need more disgusting material.
I did also have to explain because public and private school are, in terms of in the terms, are reversed in the Angloid British UK context comparatively to the US. It's literally a reversal. What we call public is what you would call private. What you call public is what we would call private.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
the reason why it's referred to as public schooling within the UK, within the context that it is because it is publicly funded, aka tax funded. And to me, that makes the most sense, given that most public institutions are tax funded.
I mean, it is, but in terms of the prestige of the institution, it's totally reversed. Unless this is different in the North. I can't imagine it is. Yeah, public schools are private in the UK. Yeah, Pug. That is the confusion, I think, only on the terms there. And I've always found that fascinating as to how the terms got mixed up that way.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right. Good.
Well, thank you for the explanation, Ginger.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ginger. We shall have to compete on more disgusting stories.
You enjoyed it. I like the comment from John Wick.
Oh, it comes from when private schools meant royal tutors. I get it. Okay.
Right. So that's it.
Sense, actually.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
It was nowhere near as bad as I was expecting.
It looks like Quattro and his group are still playing the RP. I figured that this stream would go longer than that did, but it hasn't. Chat, we're at 98%. I'm going to have to stream again tomorrow, but then I get 2 days off, quite possibly. So it's not too bad. Thank you for joining me. I shall see you in Pit 1 shortly after the stream. I would say that we should go and invade Quattro, but he's doing an RP, so let's not bother him with that. We'll go into Pit 1, and then we'll figure out something else to do after that. Or we could not go into Pit 1 because it's just Ted and Busak in there right now. We could, and they've both jumped the gun. We could go into Pit 2 instead. Maybe we'll do that just for the catch.
I think what we should do is we should jump into Pit 1 and just aggressively call them homosexual and then leave without warning.
Sounds good. And then just go to Pit 3.
Yeah, we should do that.
So okay, that is now the goal. When the outro is done, we'll jump into Pit 1, call them gay, and then jump immediately into Pit 2. Each of us individually must do this. All right. Yes. Thank you for watching, chat. I will see you again tomorrow. Those of you who are watching on other platforms. Otherwise, I'll see you very shortly. Good night.